Hey, Ritual Madness podcast. Guess what, folks? You're tuning in. It's been a little while since I've done one of these motherfuckers, man. So hopefully you are paying attention right now. You're listening to episode 131, hanging out with Bobby from Leo Presents. Do me a favor, check out ritualmadnesspodcast.com. On the right side, you can scroll down and connect with us on a multitude of links. iTunes podcast application, Stitcher application, which is my favorite. There's a ton of great podcasts on Stitcher. Just go to your application store and buy or check out Stitcher. Do me a favor, check us out on Facebook, Ritual Madness Podcast on Facebook, Ritual Madness MN on Twitter, Ritual Madness Podcast on Instagram, and the YouTube channel, Ritual Madness Podcast. Obviously, I'm going to keep saying my name over and over and over again. Do me a favor, download the Listen to My Radio app. That's LISTE and the number 2, My Radio. And once you get to the search bar, push in Ritual Madness Podcast, and you'll be able to connect with us on the station here and listen to us 24/7, 365. A bunch of good music, man. We've got a lot of punk rock, a lot of metal, a lot of comedy, local music, national music, all kinds of good stuff. Gangster rap, if you're into that. I mean, definitely you will hear stuff that you've never heard before. There's stuff on there I've never even heard before. Do me a favor, right below that, there's an Amazon link. If you shop Amazon, every time you do that, you should click that little link and bookmark it as your own every time you shop on Amazon. It just kicks back a couple pennies at no cost to you, helps the show, helps keep the things going on up in here. Below that, there's a little donation button. If you feel very generous, that'd be great to donate a little cash here and there. We'll put it to good use, I promise. If you are in a band or have friends that are in a band and you want to have them submit their stuff to the podcast, I will definitely throw it on the station. And who knows, you might come in here and do an interview with me. It'd be great to support as much metal as possible, or music as possible for that matter. Do me a favor, send it to ritualmadnesspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's ritualmadnesspodcast@gmail.com. And my friends at Disciple of the Watch podcast, that's dotwpod.com. Check those guys out. Another great local podcast. Excellent show. A lot of news, a lot of music trivia, all kinds of good stuff on there. And I want to give a shout out to Earl Root, just celebrating his passing just recently. I think it was last week. The Root of All Evil show has been around since the 80s, man, and they are a great group of people keeping Earl's legacy alive down there at the Root of All Evil, KFAI, Fresh Air Radio. They go on at Saturday nights, or Sunday mornings, Saturday at 1 a.m., and go till about 5 or 6 or some shit like that. And then I've got another show coming up. I appreciate everybody showing up at the first one. But the monthly metal volume 2 at Lee's Liquor Lounge, June 17th, 21 plus, $7 cover, 8:30 doors, featuring Endless Rain, Tempestuous, Digor, Burial Ritual from Milwaukee, and Solace and Murder. And I believe one of the guys from Solace and Murder, Dave, is taken off out of state, going to be moving to Arizona, but they're going to continue. Solace and Murder is going to continue. So please come down. We've got $2 Jack and Cokes, Lemmys, if you will. $2 Jack and Cokes. I had a bunch of those in May at the Metal de Mayo. It was awesome. And then we just have a new sponsor jump on with us. Capital Beverage and Rolling Rock is going to be doing $3 Tallboy Rolling Rocks with a limited edition mug. When you buy a Rolling Rock Tallboy, you get a limited edition jar or some crazy shit. I'm not positive on all the details, but just show up June 17th. It'll be a good time, I promise you. Like I said, I am hanging out here with the notorious Bobby from Leo Presents. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right.
Awesome. It's great to have you, man.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a long time coming. We had one of these set up before, and it just didn't work out. You're a busy man.
That happens.
Yes, absolutely, man. And it's totally okay. I'm a busy guy too. I totally understand. So I wanted to kind of start out from the very beginning. Like, what types of music are you generally into? What stuff do you listen to
right now, or as I grew up in my teen years?
All the way from the beginning.
I grew up a very stupid, dumb, ignorant, like punk guy. I was into really ignorant punk, like Screeching Weasels, the Queers, the Dead Milkmen were my favorite band growing up. But then I discovered Sigur Rós when I was 18, and that just changed everything. Yeah. And I've been obsessed with Sigur Rós ever since. That's my favorite band.
Awesome.
And I'm just a sucker for ambient kind of rock stuff.
Nice.
That's what I'm into. So I grew up in like the punk stuff. I didn't really get into metal when I was younger. I was in the punk side of things.
Right. That's really cool. Have you had a chance to work with any of the bands that you
I
were
mean,
into?
I brought Guttermouth to town last year or
Sure.
this year, February.
Yeah.
That was cool because I got it. I was not really a Guttermouth fan growing up,
Sure.
but a lot of my friends were, so that was cool.
Yeah. That's badass.
Yeah. But I went and saw the Queers at the Triple Rock, and I caught Alkaline Trio at the Triple Rock,
Right.
and I go to those shows, just to bring back some memories and have some fun. So
Sure. Just rock out, or you just gotta tame and kind of hang out?
Yeah, tame and hang out, yeah.
Back in the day, would you have jumped there and got
Well, back in
loose?
the day, like I said, I was pretty dumb and ignorant and,
Right.
mosh pit and,
Sure.
get concussions and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. I'm the same way, man. I've twisted knees and busted hands and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
I just found out the other day I broke some dude's nose. One of my friends, I'm like, and we weren't friends back then, but he's like, yeah, you just came in and threw me into another guy and I busted my nose. I was like, dude, I never knew that. So another cat that worked with a friend's band all the time, Sound and Fury, he's like, dude, I had to fucking have 2 back surgeries because of you. I was like,
Oh my God.
Jesus, I felt horrible.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the
that's
fuck,
bad
man?
news.
Yeah, bad. It's horrible. I'm just like, oh man, I'm so sorry. It's like, hey, dude, we're all young and stupid,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, how did you get involved in the other side of the music stuff? Were there any kind of interest? Did you go to school for any of it or anything like that?
No,
Music business or anything?
No. If you want to be in music business, the side of music business, don't go to school for it. Unless you want to go straight corporate, then absolutely go to school for it. But as far as me, I started playing in bands early, and
What'd you play?
well, I play. I was obsessed with music. I played drums, guitar, bass.
Damn.
I was a total band slut.
Right.
I've been in tons and tons and tons of bands.
Sweet.
Playing in.
Sure, a lot of people didn't know that about you, man.
Well, yeah, because they're terrible. I don't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing when someone brings up one of my old bands. Like, oh shoot, just
Right.
forget about that.
Yeah.
But
I've had that situation.
Yeah.
I'm here. Somebody snuck in one of my very first bands and played a song, and I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking horrible.
it's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
But so how I got involved was playing in bands and just booking my own band with bands at like a cat. I got my start at the Segway Cafe in Maple Grove.
Oh, wow.
I put my first show on the calendar there late 10th grade.
Sure.
Just, local stuff, nothing, no big deal. I thought I was a booking agent. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing.
Right.
And so ever since that time, I've had a show on the books consistently nonstop since the 10th grade.
Wow.
And it's driving me insane. Or it has driven me insane.
Well, I mean, so when you first started booking shows all together, I mean, was it super stressful from the very get-go?
Well, absolutely not, because I thought I was a booking agent.
Right.
So I was like, put it on the calendar and forget it. And but yet I'd make posters and stuff and get people there because I thought that's just what you did, and
Right.
obviously that is what you do.
Right.
And Segway was like just super not organized and DIY. Like they wouldn't schedule sound guys sometimes, so I'd like be doing sound or running the door if there's no door guy. Or I mean,
So you really were a jack of all trades back then. So you just really had the aspect of all of it.
yeah. And when I graduated high school, just through doing shows there, I was quote unquote hired on as the booking guy there. So I did all the shows at the Segway Cafe from August 05 to maybe February 07 when it closed. And then I was working 3 jobs at the time.
Holy
it
shit.
was my dream, quote unquote dream. It was my dream to open a music venue.
Yeah.
And Segway closed, so I actually looking at buying the Java Joint in St. Cloud.
Yeah, I played there before.
Yeah, the place was great. And
It was fun, man.
yeah, and so I was actually kind of involved, kind of far along buying the Java Joint. And then all of a sudden the owners kind of dropped a bomb on me saying like, yeah, like our lease, is up a year and a half. Like, they've always renewed it though.
Yeah, go ahead and buy,
Just
go ahead and buy it. They might not.
Give us $25,000 for our business, and maybe they'll extend the lease. It's like I don't know, it's kind of sketchy. So
Right.
So but during that process, I met a guy in Buffalo of all places.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of Buffalo, Minnesota. Never even heard of it.
Yeah.
And I was in St. Cloud, heard this guy in Buffalo opening a club, opening a music venue. And I was just like, this is really weird. I can't have a guy in between Minneapolis, competing with me in St. Cloud.
Right.
So I went and checked it out, saw what he had going on, walked in the building, looked great. Stage, PA, everything was put together except bathrooms. And so I was talking to the guy, and this is for the vault, if anyone's that is.
Yeah.
So it seemed like he had done all his homework and everything was put together. He just needed $4,500 for the bathrooms, and he said if I had money for the bathrooms, I could open up weeks.
Right.
Well, that sounded great for me. Or I was just like, well, good luck to you, and I walked out. He's like, well, hey, dude, is there any way we could figure this out, partner or something? And I made him a deal, and he's like, oh, I can't do that.
Right.
Because I was like, if I pay for the bathrooms, make me a partner,
right.
and we can just start doing this thing. He's like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, okay, well, see ya.
Right.
Good luck.
So now let me back up a little bit.
Sure.
So from the time that you were working at the first place, right?
Yeah.
So were you making money
at the first place?
Oh, I mean, just from the beginning to.
I was so delusional back then.
Yeah.
I mean, that Segway Cafe, bless her heart, Jane, the owner, but she was ripping me off like you would not even believe.
How so?
I mean, because I was taking all the risk, putting shows on the books.
Sure.
But yet I got paid 10% of the profit.
Huh.
So if I made her $1,000
Yeah.
profit,
Right.
I got $100.
Sure.
Which, rarely happened.
Sure.
But I remember the first month I worked there, I got paid $25 for the month, and I was I was so stoked. I went home, I told my mom, I was just so stoked because my stepdad was just such an asshole about everything. It's just, so I went up I told my mom, I was like, oh, I made $25 off the shows. I'm so stoked. I'm just, it just felt great.
So how many shows would you have done in that month time frame?
8.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, eight shows.
Okay.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday.
Huh. $25.
Yeah, I know.
Shit.
It's just humble beginnings,
Yeah, totally. I totally understand. Now, when did it start moving up? Well, I mean, how did you acquire enough money for you to talk to this guy and say like, hey, I got $4,500 to fucking
that was like September 08 or September 05 when that was going on, and slowly started doing, because it was all locals at the Segway.
Yep.
And then MySpace. It's cool. I started doing shows pre-MySpace, which is kind of cool.
Right.
That I'm barely old enough to say that.
Right.
And so like in 04, when MySpace kind of started becoming a thing, started getting messages from touring bands. And so like,
now how would they get in contact with you? They just through the grapevine heard about you booking shows?
On MySpace you could just search music venues.
Okay.
And they found Segway Cafe.
Sure.
And I was the guy in the Segway Cafe in MySpace.
Right, okay.
And get a couple touring acts in here and there, just small stuff, but kind of getting a grasp for how things work. And put my first quote unquote real touring show on the books in 05, maybe.
Do you remember the band?
The Wedding.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. They're broken up.
Yeah.
But
did you get enough people there to?
Yeah, I broke even on it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What were they
broke
asking?
even?
What were they asking if you?
$400.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was freaking out. There's so much money.
Were you just panicked at the door, just like fuck?
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, just like because it was like $5.
What'd you put in for promotions as far as like flyers and all that stuff?
Oh, I don't even remember. Because I don't think I remember, because I think at my high school I just used the copy machine.
Yeah. You were sneaking to do some copies.
Oh yeah, I did that constantly.
Dude, I remember that shit. I remember people offering like, "Hey, dude, I can give these to my mom. Give me one of them, the 4-ways splitters,
Yeah.
and do double-sided and give it to my mom. My mom works at this, office, and she'll run a bunch off for us or whatever.
And the posters were legitimately like marker.
Yeah. I remember that shit for sure.
So anyways, it started. So the touring shows just slowly kind of got bigger through 06, and then 07, just Segway kind of became like, the Toy Box was around then. If you remember that place, Toy Box and the Segway kind of did like the same shows.
Okay.
And just started, I don't know, kind of, if you make a couple $100 here, there, and there, it just kind of starts adding up.
Sure.
And
if you're smart about it, right?
Yeah. If you pocket it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just like hoard it.
Yeah.
A lot of people save money.
Sure.
I hoard it.
Yeah.
You just literally don't spend it.
Right.
On anything.
Right.
So, and then at the time I was also working 3 jobs. I was a mailman. I worked at a factory from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Damn.
While being a mailman. I was literally killing myself. It absolutely sucked.
It sounds like it. 3 jobs? That's insane.
I slept every other day.
Wow.
I legitimately felt myself dying.
No, but I mean that really taught you about busting your ass to get something that you wanted, right?
I thought if you worked hard in life,
Yeah.
it would produce enough results to where you could, have a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's not true. You got to work smart or, work on the stock market or
Sure.
I don't know. You just got to work smart because working hard doesn't really get you too far.
Yeah. You're just busting your ass.
It's busting your ass.
Yeah.
Because I did that for 9 months. Just a day.
Damn.
It just
That's
sucked.
insane.
It just sucked. but through that, I saved enough money to open the vault with that guy.
So how did it turn? Now you said you basically made him an offer. He said I can't do it.
Yeah.
And you were like, all right, peace out. I'm out of here.
Yeah, and then he did it.
So what did you let him stew on it and walk away? And then he fucking was like, I gotta get this shit done. This dude's my only hope.
He thought about it for like 60 seconds.
Did he send a little robot that said, fucking help me, Bobby?
Well,
You're my only hope?
I was walking away and he's just like, oh, hey, we let's do it. Like that. Just like instantly like that.
So he had everything set. And all you had to do, I mean, $4,500 is still $4,500.
Right.
That's a fucking good chunk of change.
So I wrote the check for the plumber, $4,500. Really excited to have my own music venue, have my own calendar. And lo and behold, this guy had no clue what he was talking about.
Wow.
Yeah, it sucked. Literally, just sucked. Nothing was up to code. No permits were pulled.
Oof.
City council didn't. It was not approved through city council.
So it wasn't even zoned for a club.
It wasn't
or
zoned
anything?
for anything.
Whoa.
So I had to get a.
Fuck.
What did I have to pull?
Dude, how many shows did you do before you figured this shit out? Did the cops come?
No. We couldn't open. We couldn't. Yeah, I mean, I figured this out on Monday because like this deal was done over the weekend. And I talked to the plumber, and then you talk to one inspector, it just kind of opens a can of worms.
Right.
And
they probably talked to other people too and sent them your way and like fucking.
So I had to submit a non-conditional use permit.
Right.
For a music venue.
Okay.
And if anyone went to the vault, which probably anyone listening never did, but
you never know.
You never know. But a great story is I couldn't find insurance for the vault, and I had to. That was a condition of opening for your non-conditional use permit is getting insurance for whatever use you are. So a little insurance fraud going on here. I couldn't find insurance, and so I found a guy. I don't know if he was cool enough or dumb enough. I don't know which side he was on.
Right.
But
he probably didn't either.
yeah. But so I had this broken vending machine that I don't know how this vending machine got in my possession, but I told this insurance guy, that this is a vending machine sales business, and I cash flow it through concerts. Like getting people in to watch bands so they can like cash flow this vending machine. And he's like, oh, okay, so that's your use. I'm like, yeah. And so I got insurance that way and opened the vault that way. Just
that's fucking brilliant.
And it's been over 7 years, so I can tell that story. I'm not going to go to jail, so that's great.
Right, absolutely. That's fucking great.
And so anyways, this $4,500 turned into $13,000.
Wow.
Because this dude did not have his shit together.
Right.
So
you ended up booting him out? I mean, did you?
Well, no. He owned half the system, and then I bought more of half the system to get running. And I mean, I was there like working on the building physically about 45 days straight while working my other jobs. And we finally passed all code inspections. We're open, got the okay to open. Did our first show, and that's probably still to this day one of the worst days of my life.
Really?
Because
was it a touring show or was it?
It was a touring show. It was called Cheaper Than Sunshine Fest.
Sure.
The show did fine. We lost $15.
Wow, that's still good. What would you pay for the whole festival?
I think it was like $3,000.
Okay.
For the thing.
That's not bad. Then you fucking lost $15.
Yeah, we lost $15. But what was terrible is like all this work, all this effort, going into the venue, fixing all the mistakes, just to have the city of Buffalo say that there's no loitering in Buffalo.
Wow. So people couldn't hang outside.
They couldn't hang outside and smoke.
Wow.
The cops would show up and say, "Oh, you guys got to walk around." I was like, "What's going on here?" "Oh, there's no loitering in Buffalo." So it's just like, God, this is
gotta be
insane.
kidding me.
Yeah, this is insane. Like, how can this get any worse?
Right.
And so anyway, there's a video online still of me talking to the city council of Buffalo, like getting this loitering thing cleared up.
Right.
So that's the story of the vault. The vault turned into kind of a cool place, like in 2009. It was a terrible place in like 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
But it eventually evolved like through once I got money to like upgrade the system.
Sure.
Illegally break down a wall, break fire code, and like just make it better use for me in like a venue.
Yeah.
Make it work. So and then like through 2008, I put my first show on the calendar at Station 4.
Yeah.
And
now how'd you get hooked up with that deal? Working with Station 4?
Just emailed Don.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that show was awful.
Was it? What'd you put on there?
Gosh, I can't remember. It was really small.
Yeah.
Really small. It was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a terrible experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, after that, like fast forward a year, my quote unquote big break was just a year after that. I was offered the faceless dying fetus package.
Oh, nice.
And no one in town would take it. Nobody wanted it. And I was the only one /smart enough /dumb enough to do it.
Right.
And promoted the crap out of it, and it was a great show. Great turnout.
Right.
It was awesome. And
Dying Fetus is fucking amazing.
yeah, it was great.
Band.
Faceless headlined.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the game changer for me because that was my most expensive show to date.
And what did that run you, if you don't mind me asking?
$3,500.
Wow.
Plus parking, plus
Right.
stagehands, plus.
Right. Yeah, so you pay for what?
So I think my nut was like $5,000 or something.
Right.
Which, I forget how old I was back then, but it's a lot of money.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, and I was just so, I mean, I couldn't sleep the night before.
Now,
I was like, this is so much money.
And you said flat out that you're really not into that kind of stuff. You're really not into the death metal stuff. You're not into the fucking.
I never heard of Dying Fetus until
Right.
that show.
Right.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
Were you blown away when you seen him?
I mean, not really. I mean, the first metal band I ever heard was Napalm Death when I was in 4th grade.
But they were right on the verge of punk rock too. I mean, in the very beginning, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like some of my friends listened to Napalm Death.
Sure.
And I just kind of wasn't that into it,
Right.
but I thought it was cool.
Right.
I mean, I respected it.
Sure.
I just it just wasn't my thing.
Right. Totally get that, man.
Yeah.
Totally get that. So I mean, now with that package, you kind of break it down. So what were ticket prices at that particular time?
I think they're 15 advance, 17 at the door.
Okay.
I believe.
Quite a few people to fucking, did you come out ahead?
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Quite a
great.
bit ahead, or just
No, it was great. Yeah, I did. It was great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So in turn, basically, when you have touring packages that are hearing, okay, hey, we contacted this Bobby Cat from, was it still Leo Presents at that particular time?
That was my first show as Leo Presents.
Okay.
Yeah, because
how'd you come up with Leo Presents?
I was actually metal guys are freak out of this story. I was reading War and Peace.
Yeah.
By Leo Tolstoy.
Yeah.
And the company that was booking that tour offered me the show, and on the offer sheet it said promoter company, and I was like, well, I guess this is the day. I just need to make up some fill in the blank promoter company, and
Right.
Leo Presents, sure, done deal.
And that was it.
That was it.
Wow.
Because before that, I was going off a thing called date booking.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be a booking agent.
Okay.
I never wanted to be a promoter.
Explain the difference.
Well, a booking agent sells the show to a promoter versus an agent always wins because they get their 10% off what the bands make.
Okay.
So if a promoter buys a show from a booking agent for $2,000, that agent makes $200.
Okay.
No matter what.
Okay.
Well, the promoter is stuck with the show. They got to promote it. They got to pay for the venue, pay for sales tax, pay for everything else associated with it, and cross their fingers and hope people shows up and covers the nut for the night.
Right.
Where the agent, they sell it, they forget it, and they make their $200, and they do it all across the country. And
Sure.
It's that's what I always wanted to be an agent.
Okay.
But it's just, and I was hired actually as 19 to work for a guy in Nashville, TJ Rogers, who closed up shop. But looking at what he did and who he worked with, if I did take the job, looking back on it, working for him, it probably would have worked out.
Right.
If I would have just took the leap of faith and moved to Nashville and became an agent. But I chose to keep doing shows, and here I am.
Yeah. Leo Presents, just like that.
Yeah.
So now, like I was going to say, so now you have people know the name and they're saying, okay, we worked with Bobby from Leo Presents. Does it happen that another touring package contacts you because they have good faith? They've heard it from other touring managers or tour managers or anything like that, to where they say, this guy's on the up and up. He's going to fucking take care of you. He did us right, did all our writer stuff, paid our bills, got everything squared away. We were legit, played our show, got in the bus, off we went. People call you up and say, hey, we heard you worked with so-and-so who had this tour package. Does it happen like that?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
100%.
Yeah, because if you're shady, man, nobody wants to fucking touch you.
Basically, it works like this. There's the bottom of the barrel bands, bottom of the barrel agents.
Right.
They'll sell to anybody. Anyone that could potentially pay them.
Sure.
Because they're just so stoked to get booked. Because it's hard to book a tour if you're a very new band with a little fan base. Then the next step is it's hard to explain the progression, but like being a promoter company, it's hard. How I got bigger and bigger shows is just through doing just that repeatedly, and it's really about consistently doing it for years or decades at a time. Because there's a lot of guys that do it for a year, go away, come back, go away, come back, go away. But I think because I've been doing it consistently, getting some notoriety, having somewhat of a brand and somewhat of marketing behind you, and
sure.
A legitimate company set up helps you as
Sure.
well. There's still a lot of people out there that don't respect me, and,
sure.
and I'm too young.
Mm-hmm.
But
in the business itself, behind the scenes type of shit.
yeah, like the agents,
yeah,
the booking agents, because they're all like 40, 50, 60 years old,
right.
and they've been coming into Minneapolis doing shows with First Ave for 30 years, and
right.
I email them, what incentive does he have to sell me a show?
Right.
Close to none.
Right.
So
absolutely. Well, you're making friends, and you keep those friends for so long, and you're making money together. You're patting each other on the ass. We're all in the game together. Yeah.
It seems that way.
Somebody who comes in and is doing good work, but they don't know. It seems cliquey to me. You know what I mean? Like they're not sure they want to take a risk on the situation, or who's in their ear. You know what I mean? Or
a lot of these booking
loyalty
agents,
as well. You know what I mean? Like
loyalty's
I want to stay. Steve McClellan for many years. Rich Best, people like that from First Avenue. They booked everything. They put everything together at First Avenue. And First Avenue, they really made that place. And when everything changed hands and they were going to go out of business, and then they came back and somebody bought this and somebody bought that, and they came back, now they're promoting with the Turf Club and they're promoting with all these other venues all at the same time. I don't know if they all own the same thing, but to me it seems like they lost it. You know what I mean? Like it seems to me that those booking agents aren't really going to folks anymore, Well, I don't. Yeah. True. Yeah. To me, because First Avenue's a mainstay in this fucking town. You know what I mean? It's hard to see that place kind of sit there and really not do what it used to do all the time. I've seen so many great shows there. Alice in Chains, Sublime. The Fugees, fucking
First
LL
Ave's,
Cool J.
First Ave's never been better though. If you look at their calendar, they're sold out half the month.
Right.
It's nuts.
Right. Just different stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I'm used to seeing a lot of metal stuff there.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if you don't have a trust fund and you don't have a corduroy vest on and number one hit on the radio,
right.
Good luck getting in there.
Yeah, for sure, man. Even local stuff's really hard. They're pushing it all to the entry, you know. Blue Felix is in the entry tonight,
Yeah.
you know, which is it's few and far between. You hardly ever see any local bands do well in there or get in there. You know, the main room is very difficult for a local show, man, and we used to put them on in there all the time.
Right.
I played the main stage when I was fucking 16, you know, and I know people to this day that are playing in really good bands, and they're like, I've never played fucking First Avenue, and it's
Right.
like, I did.
Yeah,
Many
that's cool.
times, you
That's
know what I
cool.
mean? And it's you're not trying to rub it in their face. It's just like fucking, I'm happy that I had a chance to, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just, it's amazing. Why don't we play some tunes? We'll take a little break, play
do
some
it.
tunes. And actually, I want to get to the first song that we played. We did a little bit of Ministry, and we're kind of doing them in order, how you brought them, and what you're going to have Ministry come to town here real soon, right?
July 16th at the Skyway.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And that's a pretty big deal, right?
It's supposed to be.
Hey, yeah.
The day before, they're playing with Rammstein. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. So, I mean, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be. It's in a good room.
Skyway's new PA is ridiculous.
Right.
It's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the production Ministry's bringing it's going to be a really cool show. I hope a lot of people show up because it will be really cool.
Right. Say the date on that one again.
July 16th at the Skyway. It's a Saturday.
And then it's well, how much for tickets? Tickets
$40. It's the cheapest Ministry show in the last decade.
Yeah. That's
So
bad.
there you go.
That's badass, man.
If you care about Ministry, it's not one to miss.
Yeah. Exciting, folks. Make sure you get out there and see some Ministry. We're going to play some tunes. We've got some El Nino coming up. We've got some Out Came the Wolves, some The Browning, and Psychroptic. All bands that you are booking here and coming to town here shortly, pretty soon.
That's right, yeah.
Within a few months.
Yeah, El Nino, June 5th at the Caboose.
There you go. And
Play-
now have you been doing a lot of stuff at the Caboose as well?
I love the Caboose.
That's a great dude. After they revamped it, move stuff around a little bit. It's a great room. It's a really good room.
I've always liked it. I don't know why people don't really like it. I mean, when I went and saw a show there 10 years ago and never being there, and I thought it was really cool. You
Yeah.
could see the show.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone can see, I think.
I like
right?
the fact that they did the little stadium stuff in the back as well. They opened up that whole area. The one bar was on the one corner. Remember that back in the day?
That must be before my time.
Yeah, dude. Crazy shit. It just the layout is so much better
Yeah.
nowadays, for sure.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
think it's a cool place. I mean, it's been open. I mean, James Brown has played there. B.B. King's played there. It's a legendary place.
Yep,
I mean,
I seen War. I seen Robin Trower there. Fucking, I've seen a lot of cool shit
yeah,
at the Caboose.
it's a legendary place.
Yep, lots of motorcycles, lots of cool
Yeah,
motorcycles. You know, crazy bikers everywhere.
Great quesadillas next door.
Yeah, good drinking. good big patio too. You know,
Yeah.
you can't beat that shit. What do you have after that? You've got Out Came the Wolves. What is that? What's that?
Out Came the Wolves is I was about to say something. I can't spill the beans, but they're a new band. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I was their manager, and I passed them off to a cool guy manager in Hollywood,
Sure.
and then he's working them.
Awesome.
But they got some great stuff coming up. Their new record, I think, is very good.
Cool. When do they come to town?
They're a local band.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they're from here.
Awesome.
Yeah, but they're just doing a home show, June 10th.
Awesome. Very cool. How about the Browning after that?
Browning, they're like a dubstep metal band. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. And you've had them here a couple times, right?
I think I've done every Browning show ever in Minnesota.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have to check that out. I'm excited to hear. Psychroptic. Now, that's a band that I had heard from just some miscellaneous cat. They're from where are they from?
I don't know.
I think they're from fucking Canada. I want to say Canada or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'll have to look
For
it
some
up.
reason, I don't care where bands are from. A lot of people care where a band is from. It's
Right.
like, why does it matter if they're from Michigan
Right.
or Australia?
Right.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really.
As long as they're a good band.
Yeah.
And they bring people, right?
I had no idea. My favorite band was from Sigur Rós until like the internet stuff started getting big.
Yeah.
So
All right, well, let's take a listen to some music, and we'll be back. Folks, stick around. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, so I know a lot of questions that you folks want to get answers to are going to be coming up here shortly. I know Bobby's got a limited time to be here, so we're going to try to get it all in. So let's listen to tunes, and we will be back. Yes, Ritual Madness Podcast, episode 131. Hanging out with Bobby from Leo Presents. Do me a favor, check out ritualmadnesspodcast.com. You can connect with us on a multitude of links. They're all there. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you can check out the episode tab. Just click that episode tab. 130 episodes up there for your listening pleasure or displeasure, whatever you think. I don't give a shit, to be honest with you. I'm having fun doing what I do, and you should be enjoying it. But if you're not, I don't care. Don't listen then, bitch. You know how it goes. Anyways, we listened to some Ministry, El Nino, out came the Wolves, the Browning, and Psychroptic, and we found out Psychroptic is from Australia. So I'm glad I could clear that up for everybody. I know you're very, very concerned about that. Bobby, the burning question for everybody here everybody wants to know about the whole ticket sales and the whole ticket pay to play thing, and it's been a topic of discussion on the podcast for quite some time. It has come up, a lot of people, misunderstandings about the whole thing. I really wanted to have you on here to explain your side of it. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, a pay-to-play situation is where you are paying, you're selling tickets to someone, you're selling them to them, or selling them a slot on a large bill. So say, Propane comes to town, which they are coming to town very soon. And somebody wants to buy the support for them. They want to be the band right before Propane, and selling them a spot to me is paying to play. You're buying yourself onto that bill, or buying yourself onto that tour package, where you're actually making the people sell the tickets and prove themselves. There is a difference, and people don't seem to understand that. And we've discussed this off the air that you're not going to make everyone happy. Not everyone's going to be happy about that situation. Don Decker used to do this back in the day. He used to have shows where he would give everybody a coupon, and it would have, it was like a flyer, but it was a coupon. Had every band name on it, the name of the show, da-da-da-da-da, and you'd have to circle your name on it. And if you handed those out and say, okay, you get such and such, $2 off a $5 cover or $7 cover or whatever. So, $2 off with the coupon, and your name was circled on it. And he would collect every one of those, and he, by their name, he'd put all the bands out, and whoever brought in more tickets got more of a percentage from those First Avenue shows. That's how he worked it.
That's pretty cool.
And it's an idea, what I mean? And that was his idea. He never made anybody pay to play his shows.
Yeah.
Now, a guy named Jack Koshik, who used to do the Milwaukee Metal Fest every year, I paid $1,000 to play his show.
I was going to bring that up today.
And I played 30 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I played 15 minutes for $1,000. Okay.
Wow.
But this was the thing, is that I didn't buy the tickets for my band. I bought it for a band that was from LA that wasn't from this area. Okay. So I basically bought their spot on the bill and had to sell their tickets.
Okay.
Now you couldn't sell the tickets right in front of the door, or, you know what I mean? But I flew into town, or, I drove into town a day and 2 days earlier, partied with a bunch of people, stayed at Jack's house, met up with my band the following day. And before the show, I went a block down the street and I sold my tickets to all the metalheads that were coming that way. So I made all my money back.
Nice.
But, I sold, I had $200 worth of tickets, or, I had sold $200 worth of tickets before we left because people were going to the Metal Fest. Misfits was on it, da-da-da-da-da, all this other shit. I still made my money back. So I would like you to explain your thoughts behind how you run things, and how do you run things?
Yeah, what you did was a pay to play. You paid, and you got mailed tickets.
Yep.
And I don't do that. I mail bands. Well, actually, how it works from inception to the end is a band typically message me on Facebook or text me, hey, can we open for Propane? Or whatever. And I'll say, are you willing to sell? Is that a show you're willing to sell? Or is that a show your band's willing to sell 50 tickets for? Oh, let me talk to the guys. Okay, cool. Let me know. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, cool. Send me your full name and address to where I can mail your tickets to. So I mail them off tickets. They sell them. If they don't utterly fail, they get paid $2 a ticket. So a lot of bands actually sell all their tickets, and they make $100, or if they're selling 100 tickets, it's $200.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a show that they're selling 100 tickets for, they're the only local band, which does happen,
mm-hmm.
and there's 500-600 people there, which does happen. They made $200 off their tickets, and then if they're a good band, which happens, they make $500, $600, $700 off their merch. It's like, oh, sick! We just made $1,000 off doing this show. This was a great thing for our band.
Opportunity, yeah.
it definitely happens with some of these other older metal shows. That's not the case, but that's the ideal situation.
Sure. Now, what do you give people a break on the tickets so say the tickets are $20 or whatever?
Sure.
Do you give them a break on the tickets for them to sell them? Or pre-sale tickets are what, usually $5 off or something like that?
I mean, it depends on the show. Some shows are just $20.
Sure.
Some shows are 20 advance, 25 at the door.
Sure.
I mean, it all depends on the act and the agent and what ticket price they want to play in Minneapolis and what they think the ticket should be and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Now, how does that benefit you as far as covering your costs? Now, does that help you cover your costs? Having bands sell tickets, do they? Okay, so the day of the show, they bring their tickets back to you.
Yeah.
And whatever they've sold, they give you the money for those tickets.
Yep.
And does that benefit you as far as them promoting the show? Does it benefit you as far as you getting extra money from that band besides
it benefits in all that way.
Right.
I mean, if you have 4 locals promoting a show versus just Leo Presents promoting the show, obviously there's more people promoting the show, and
Sure.
there's just that's just better for the show.
Right. Now, do you think now we had this conversation before the show as well about multiple bands like the Totally Fucking Awesome Fest and then the Ministry thing where there's several bands on this thing, and I voiced my opinion about that as well.
Yeah.
That I thought that was just it was kind of tough on all the bands because a lot of them are friends, a lot of them are connected somehow.
It's a fucked situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, how does that benefit you? I mean,
it doesn't benefit me.
Yeah.
It doesn't benefit anyone really. It benefits Ministry fans.
Yeah.
It benefits Ministry the most.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want to do I didn't want to do the Ministry show at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that just kind of got thrown on me, and I'm doing it. And the bands that want to be nice to me, the local bands that are doing it, I really appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot because they're helping me out of a bind. And that's just what that show is. It's something that I wish didn't happen, but it's happening, and it's going to be a cool show. Ministry does pull. Mushroomhead does pull. It will be a giant show, period.
Right.
It's bad timing. I wish it happened later.
A few months later?
Maybe October, November.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Separating from the other big
Absolutely.
show. Yeah.
It's just too close.
Sure. I think that was a lot of people's misunderstandings of that situation as well.
Yeah.
And there are several bands that I talked to before I set this podcast up, before we put it together. And, I did a little bit of research as far as like asking which bands, there are a lot of bands that were afraid to talk about it because you do a lot of shows in town and they don't want to burn bridges, or they don't, they want to help themselves.
Absolutely.
And I think we had an understanding from the very beginning. I seen you doing a lot of shows. I wanted to help you promote and post as much as I possibly could. All I asked was like, hey, let me into a couple shows if possible. I'm not going to ask every single time, but if I can. And you were like, no problem, dude, no problem. And it's been fine. We've never had an issue.
Right.
And I've asked bands the pros and cons of this whole thing, and it's been a huge discussion on Facebook. A lot of people have been, get their panties in a bunch because they hear, a bad experience from one band, and then it trickles down. Bobby, like we said, Bobby threw a show. The next person says, yeah, Bobby threw a show and somebody got stabbed. Four guys down the road, Bobby stabbed some guy at this show, and fucking scalped him and, cut him into little pieces and shit.
Yeah.
So what would you say to people that are bad mouthing you on this whole thing?
What do I say to the bad people that are bad mouthing me?
Yeah.
I don't have a single thing to say to them.
Yeah.
No,
Not at all.
I don't think so.
Really?
No.
They're just not going to understand.
Yeah, because they're probably older than me.
Sure.
They've probably been in this scene longer than I have, and they still don't have any idea of how anything works. And there's nothing that's going to change it.
Sure.
So there's no point, right?
So, I mean, some. I mean, the people that I've talked to.
I mean,
aren't.
it's a very, very simple concept. I mean,
break it down.
If you are a good band
Mm-hmm.
and you think you can gain fans by doing this show, and you want to put in the effort and establishing a relationship with me, a promoter you can scale with. A lot of bands, they play big V's or whatever, where you can't scale. I mean, that you're stuck at big V's. Where me, you can go play a 100-person show with me. You can go play a 2,000-person show with me. So I'm a promoter you can scale with. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be me. I just don't know anyone else here that's doing that. Do you?
No, not at all.
I don't know anyone.
No.
So, I mean, if you want to get in with somebody like me, then yeah. I mean, if you want to play these shows and you're a good band, I mean, work hard for these shows.
Sure.
Be a great band and gain fans. I mean, if you're not doing something that people care about, then why are you doing it? Because you care about it? Well, that's cool then. That's fine, and I respect that. That means you're a hobby band, and that's totally cool. I thought about starting a hobby band myself kind of recently.
Sure.
But if you're a hobby band, you're probably not going to have a good experience with me.
Right.
Because my bands, like the shows that I'm trying to do are basically the locals that I try to work with. My dream is to get them to the next level.
Sure.
My dream is to have them do their own headline show.
Sure.
To where they get a point to where they're so big that they don't have to sell tickets anymore. They just have a demand for them they have fans that want to see them. But that's never going to happen when they play my show and then they go play Big V's and they're going to the Opinion Brule, and it's just like they're playing like four shows a month in town.
Sure.
Which
doesn't work in general.
I mean,
you're oversaturating one small market.
The idea of like we want to get out there as much as possible. It's like, why?
Right.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, is your band good?
Mm-hmm.
Is your band really that good to where you're going to play in front of all these people and you're going to make instant fans all over the place? No. Chill out. Play one really great show that fits your band, and you're probably going to gain all those fans.
Right.
Rather than going all around and spinning your wheels. And I mean, there's a lot more to being a band than playing a show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that should be your least concern is playing shows.
Yeah.
It should be writing, recording.
I think everybody gets caught up in that too.
Yeah, they get caught up in playing shows. I mean, there is so much more to do as a band than playing a show.
Honing the craft,
right?
Putting your time in, writing good songs, making it real. You know what I mean? How do you feel about some of the bands that are on some of these bills? Bands that I've never even heard of. I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, you're just giving them a shot, giving them a chance.
Give them a shot. I mean, it's kind of funny to the older people, but when I was younger, I actually was quite the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to get in with me. It was hard to get on my shows. I've chilled out a bit. I don't mind giving people a chance at all.
Right.
Whoever wants a show, I mean, I think there's a place for everyone. You got to find the right fit.
Sure. And people have to work for it. They got to prove themselves, right?
Absolutely.
You can't just jump on something and expect to be, featuring, opening up, for the big band, being right there. You got to bust your ass to get there.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Now, how where does that point come across when someone sells? So they have 50 tickets and they sell 25.
Yeah.
Now the naysayers, the haters, have said that you have those bands cover those other 25 tickets. Is that true at all?
I can't think of a time where that's happened. I mean, I know it's happened because a band was like, dude, we promised you we'd sell these tickets and we didn't, and here's the money. And
so they coughed it up first.
I don't think I took all the money.
Right.
I think I took up to like an even amount, like $300 or something.
Right.
But as far as like, I'm just really trying to think because it's a lot. It's like 10 years of doing this, so I'm just trying to think. I don't think I've ever done it. With the Juggalo shows that I do,
sure,
that's a totally different beast.
Right.
That is pay to play, 100%. Twisted, ICP, Blaze, all that shit. But those rappers are stoked. They're so stoked to be on those shows because they're doing these these 20-person Big V shows where it's just the other rappers and their girlfriends, and then they get to open for Twisted, and there's 1,000 people there at the Skyway,
right?
And it's worth it. And so I guess And that's
just to get their name out there.
well, it's just the overall experience.
Sure.
Being on the event page, being on sometimes they're on the poster, but just like being on the event, just playing at the Skyway, playing somewhere other than Big V's. It's worth it to them.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of the day, if any band you shouldn't do anything that's not worth it to you.
Right. Absolutely.
Period.
I agree. Now, what would somebody have to pay to be on something like that? It all depends on what you're paying for the package. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it always depends on the package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? I mean, average. Give me an average. Give me a ballpark.
Well, I'm a bit more guarded with my Juggalo shows.
Yeah.
I only use like 5 Juggalo locals.
Yeah.
For those shows, so they only know. Mystery.
You keeping it mysterious up in here, huh?
Yeah.
That's funny, dude. It makes sense, though.
I love Twisted.
Yeah.
They're great.
I've seen them at the Quest. I actually did a couple Juggalo shows doing security. Fucking nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
And ICP, too. The fucking Fago everywhere.
Sucks.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Shaggy Two Dopes goes to spin the cap off one of the Fago bottles, right? So it doesn't spin all the way off, and he drops it, and you can see the shit spraying out the side, right? And I'm standing right in front of him, and I look out of the corner of my eye, and I see him doing that shit. And he spins it, and he goes to kick it, but it falls flat down right behind me, and he jumps up and fucking hits that bottle, and the cap smacks to the lower of my back and just all the way down my ass crack into my shoes. Fucking diet root beer Fago. Good stuff, man. Let me tell you what. Nice and sticky for the rest of the evening. And I did a couple of their wrestling shows too.
Okay.
At the Quest. Very good times. So I want to. Now? What made you decide to do things this way?
The band selling tickets?
Yeah.
Booking agents. I was very against it for years. I did not want to pursue this. But the agents are just kind of like, if you don't do this, you will die. And I started doing this in 2008.
Die how? What do they mean by that?
Well, you'll go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because shows are just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And
just as far as attendance?
Yeah. And if you don't have all cylinders firing on on everything you can think of to increase revenue, you're gonna die.
So what kind of things do you have to pay for, Bobby, when you're doing a show? What kind of costs are we talking about that people don't understand? Because you got to cover your ass.
Yeah.
You're fucking shelling out a lot of money, and a lot of people don't understand that. It can be upwards into thousands, 10,000, more like that.
Yeah.
Big packages.
Yeah.
And people don't understand this, and they want to bullshit, and they want to say you're paying to play and you're doing all this shit. You're really trying to cover your ass, and you're the only one out there. People, if you're listening, Bobby's the only one out there really taking the chance. Bobby's the only guy in town pulling these shows. Metalheads, I'm talking to you because a lot of these metal shows that are coming around, Leo Presents is the one doing them, and the people who are shitting on Bobby for doing all this, and I understand your misunderstandings, people who are listening.
I understand their misunderstandings too. I mean, being in a band, I totally understand being 29 years old or 30 years old or 40 years old, having kids, and it's like now I have to sell tickets to play a show. That sucks.
Right.
And selling tickets does suck. But if it does suck, and this might be a little offensive, but it's like maybe your band isn't doing something special enough to capture people to want to support you.
Absolutely.
And that's
absolutely,
the
man.
Sorry truth of it.
Absolutely.
And if you look at metal's biggest bands right now, Behemoth, Ghost, I mean, if you
They've got a gimmick.
I mean, it is not just a dude playing guitar.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Right.
There is a lot going on there. It's a show. It's an event. There's a message. There's a lot going. There's a lot of stuff that have gone into that product. And
sure.
I think a lot of metal bands in the scene is kind of losing that right now.
Right. They're not making it special enough for the people around.
Well,
them.
it's not very cool.
Yeah.
So
they're not, like you said, they're not taking the time to build those great songs. They're more concerned about playing 5 times in one fucking small market, which is the most foolish thing that I've said this millions of times before. You can, bands will pick and choose, good bands will pick and choose what shows they play. If they get offered a good show, a big show, they'll take that one. But they're not going to play Big V's or fucking the Terminal or, whatever club. I'm not going to jump on every single fucking show. Even if I just released a CD, I'm not going to play 5 times in a month. It's just suicide. You're shooting yourself in the fucking foot.
There's a ton of locals that just have a unspoken agreement with me is they only do their Minnesota shows with me.
Right.
And that's just because I'm not if they don't have to worry about their shows, that's a load off of them.
Right.
Because they know I'm only going to give them 2 to 4 shows a year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be worth it.
Right.
And they can focus on everything else that they need to worry about.
Right. A lot of people I've noticed since all the years that I've played in bands, a lot of people don't have product to sell. You're not going to get signed anymore and get on a major label and get, all this backing and all that, they're not going to bankroll you to go into the studio and focus on your craft and buy you new gear and all this other shit and throw you in a van and you got to do this yourself. You've got to have the drive to do this yourself. You've got to be able to come up with a demo tape, a good sounding demo. And nowadays you could buy a fucking computer for $200 and get software, bootleg some software, get some good software, couple microphones. You got your own recording studio right there. You learn your recording software, you get it all together, you get something that sounds really well. You go play a couple shows. You get, an EP, 3-song EP, 3 good songs that sound great. They're fucking, well put together songs. Get it out there for people to hear. Then you get all your eggs in a basket. You know what I'm saying? You got your t-shirt designs. You've got your promotions down. You got everything that you need down. And then you're ready to jump in a van and go and play. You know what I mean? And you're not oversaturating yourself.
Yeah.
It's important. It's really important.
Bands that want my advice, I tell them this before I tell them anything else. And it's something I learned when I was playing. And I quit music when I was 19 because I figured my band was going to get signed to Columbia. Mm-hmm. But Columbia ended up signing the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Because there was a dude that was going to invest a couple $1 million in radio, and being a poor kid from a farming community, that was not in the cards for me. So, and then that's when I kind of learned how the industry worked, and I just realized, it's not for me to play, anyways.
Right.
But the first thing I would tell to every band asking advice from me is something I learned back then was the science of impressions. It takes one negative impression, or one negative impression takes 22 positives to get to 0. So it takes you 23 good impressions to win back a fan if you negatively influence them the first time. If someone's like, "Oh, that band sucks," that means they need 22 times of hearing that band is awesome before they'll consider giving you another chance.
Right.
So playing shows is dangerous. Really.
Right.
Playing out, like I said, there's a lot more things to do than just playing shows. You have to hone your craft and be a really cool band. It's never been easier, and it's never been harder.
Bobby, there's people blowing me up right now.
I'm sure there are.
And I have to be honest with you, man. People are liking what you're saying.
Okay.
And they're appreciating the fact that we're sitting here doing this together and talking about this, because it's a huge thing, man. It really is. This scene and why it's so important for me to have you on here and talking about this is because the scene is been my mainstay for 20 plus years. I've been close to being signed several times. I've toured a little bit. I've done a lot of cool things, and I know what to do and what not to do. But it impacts everybody around me. What you do, whether we support you, whether, we get guys like me who have podcasts and outlets and media ways to support what you're doing. You know what I mean? And I've always had your back on things as far as like doing the shows, putting it together, getting things here. And we were talking about, the whole aspect of what you're doing. It's not just metal. It's multiple different styles of bands. Yeah. And I've always been willing to promote those because I'm one of them guys that loves all types of music, but I think that people are taking a liking to what they're hearing because it's about time that you came on something like this and you actually told your side of it, because they're hearing it third and fourth person down the road. They're seeing it on Facebook. And, we spoke about that, on Facebook. And you're like, it's a handful of people. And, why let it get you down? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a handful of people.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's more than a handful of people that are paying attention.
If people want to know what my daily life is like with these shows, here it is. I wake up in the morning, I open my laptop, and I get emails from. I mean, I get a lot of offers to bring a lot of shows to town, and agent says, "Oh, we want to bring fill in the blank band to town. I need this much money," and then I'll send them an offer, a financial offer.
Now, just so people know,
yeah.
You're not the only one getting these offers.
No, it's typically 3 people in town. It's depending on the agent.
Sure.
It's me, James DeCourcy, and Josh Lacey. For a certain age. Other agents, it's me, Sonia, and maybe Josh Lacey or maybe Brad now at Skyway. But it's only a handful of people. And if it's a good show, we're all putting in offers.
Right.
Or if it's, maybe Deicide or something like that, no one is submitting offers.
Right.
And for people that are paying attention, which we talked about earlier, I'm not taking the shows, and no one else is.
Right.
And only a couple people notice that this tour is skipping town.
Right.
And it kind of makes me smile because only maybe a couple people noticed the tour skipped town. So it's like maybe I was good to skip because only 2 people mentioned it to me.
Right.
Why is this band not coming here?
I don't think a lot of people feel like they have that rapport with you. You know what I mean? Like when we were talking about this, you were talking about a guy that I had worked with before.
Sure.
And him and I talked about this all the time because we are that into that type of music.
Yeah.
And we notice that stuff all the time. It's like, why are they not coming here? They obviously have, they're on that route. Why wouldn't we get it? And a perfect example was Down. They were supposed to be coming to town, and James and First Avenue and I think one other venue made a bid on it, and it was just outrageous, like super expensive. Like they wanted a lot of money to come to town, and nobody wanted to touch it. But they were playing all the way around us, and I'm just going, what the fuck? I love this band. Why wouldn't they not pick it up? But it's again, it goes to the money, and people.
I would love to start naming names. It'd be great, but I don't want this to come back to haunt me.
No, absolutely. But I totally understand.
There's a band. It would have been a great show, but they wanted $40,000.
Jesus.
They were doing Milwaukee. They had a day off, and then Denver. Well, it makes perfect sense to play Minneapolis.
Right.
So I submitted a offer for $27,500.
Right.
Which is, that's a chunk of money.
Fair, yeah. Just a chunk of money.
And they just took the day off.
Wow.
They just.
I
think they were chilling at the Mall of America because I had a crew. I knew a dude that was on the tour selling merch.
Yeah.
And I think I saw him on Facebook posting we're at the Mall of America. It's just like that is just, dude. It drives you insane because these agents it is some of their jobs it's their goal in life to bankrupt you.
Right.
I used to tell people a year ago like, oh dude, how's your day going? Like, oh, didn't go bankrupt today. Because that's honestly like kind of that's how it felt for a while. Is like just protecting myself from going bankrupt. Because if you just took all these shows at the prices that these people quote you, or even at like what they'd even accept,
sure,
you'd just go bankrupt. So I mean, you really got to have your ear to the ground. And sometimes I have to rely on some of these local bands that want the shows. And be like, dude, will work with me. Like
now, are there bands? I mean, can you name a few bands just to give them props for working hard? Are there a few bands that you can name off the top of your head?
There's a shitload of locals that I owe a ton of gratitude to. Tons of gratitude.
Name a few.
I mean, all the locals recently. Tomorrow Brings New Blood.
Yeah.
Blood War that played the Battlecross shows. Like they've done a lot of shows for me. I'm very, very gracious for them.
Great guys.
Great dudes.
Blood War's a great bunch
Endless
of cats.
Rain, great guys.
Yep.
I mean, I'm trying to think of people that be listening, but I mean, people who aren't listening.
Well, it doesn't. See, this is the thing: is that they might not be
you
listening
never know,
live
for sure.
But when I upload it,
because
it'll be next week I'll upload it, so they'll be able to go back and listen to it. And that's where we'll hit the numbers. You know what I mean? Because people, it's Friday night. People are out having a good time. It's a long weekend. People are out of town, so they might not be listening right this moment, but they will be. Especially I know the Blood War cats are for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They've already hit me up twice.
So. Oh, that's funny. That's great.
But
no, I mean, I'm super. I mean, I'm very loyal. I mean, a lot of people was getting upset with me years ago just because I was so loyal.
That was actually one of the questions. Is that they said, now this person said to me, ask him why he recycles the same 5 bands.
There you go, man. They hook it up, and I hook it up right back up.
Right.
That's why.
So scratching each other's back.
Absolutely.
If you work hard, you're rewarded for it.
Absolutely.
Which makes sense. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Now how about bands like Gabriel and the Apocalypse or American Head Charge or Blue Felix or Nuisance or any of them bands? How do you feel about those cats? I mean, those are bands that really do work hard.
Well, to get straight up with you, I can't answer that question right now because it doesn't make sense because those bands are all not in the same category.
Okay.
So what do you mean?
Well, what do you mean they're not in the same category?
Head Charge is in a different category from Felix.
Yeah,
Felix
absolutely.
in a different category from Gata, and Gata's in a different category than who
Nuisance.
Else is? Nuisance. No, Nuisance is above Gata, for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know what do you mean?
Well, I mean, just how do you feel about those bands? Well, American Head Charge is obviously they're a national band. They're touring around.
Yeah.
You're having the totally fucking awesome fest.
Right.
Now, do you work with Danny Z a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you known him a long time?
Yeah, I have. I've known him since 2008. Yep.
No issues with Danny. You've always had.
There's always issues with Danny.
Yeah. That's another question that I had.
What's the question specifically?
Let me see what it says. Same 5 bands. Then it said he won't try to fix the damage that he and Danny have done with the big local bands back in the shows.
What damage have I done?
I have no idea. That's
okay. Well, text him back and ask him what damage Danny or I have done.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that have badmouth Danny and
I cannot I've told him this many times. I cannot defend you.
Sure.
And I will not.
Right.
Period.
And I don't talk. I try not to talk bad about anybody on my shows. You know what I'm saying?
Danny's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I don't know about currently, because we had an argument like 2-3 days ago, and Did he threaten to choke you out? No, but he does owe me an apology. It's just very stupid,
right,
what's going on, and I'm just
with friends, man.
I'm just kind of done with it personally. Yeah. We've been distancing ourselves a bit more lately, and I mean, how much shit can you take?
True, with anybody.
Anyone,
dude. I have friends the same way, and you just kind of got to cut ties for a little while.
And
if they're real friends, they'll come back, and you'll figure it out.
I'm not saying Danny sucks or what. Other people. Well, let me think about what I'm saying here. I mean, Danny does mean well.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah.
The thing that people don't understand about Danny is that he cares more about this shit than anyone.
Yeah.
Period. And like he doesn't do a very good job communicating that.
But is it genuine though?
Yeah. I think so. Fools me.
I've never personally had an issue with the dude. I've always been on good terms with him.
There's a lot of,
other than the fact that he is flat out threatened friends of mine.
Yeah.
And them guys have sent me shit, and I'm going, dude. I've sent him messages going, dude, what is your fucking deal?
Yeah.
Man? Take it easy. Back down a little bit. Yeah. Relax.
Yeah. Smoke some weed.
This fucking. I'm just going, dude. It doesn't have to be this big of a deal.
And dude, he
Relax.
freaks like that because he cares.
Man.
Yeah. He sees someone.
He needs a Valium.
I mean, he goes to 0 to 1,000,000 pretty fast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
You know what, dude? I know lots of people that do that shit, man.
He's a loose cannon, but at the end of the day, he cares a lot about music and his shows, and that's just.
Sorry, I'm looking at my phone, and it's really unprofessional for me to do this, but I'm like, I have a bunch more, and I can't seem to find them all of a sudden. What the fuck? I hate it. Stupid. Phones are dumb. They're too much bullshit. Oh, here we go. Let me see here. A promoter fee. Promoter fees are what? Typically what? 15%, 10%? Something like that?
In theory.
In theory.
If you make it that far.
Okay. So
You're probably asking, what do I mean by that?
well, yeah.
Well,
go
let's
ahead.
break it down.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Greg,
Yeah.
you're going to sell me a show. You're a booking agent, okay?
Okay.
What are you going to sell me? Prong? Head charge?
Whatever.
Pick it out, dude. What band are you going to sell me?
$13.49.
$13.49. So they get paid. They want $2,000. They're only worth maybe $12.50, but they want their $2,000. The venue expenses at wherever they're going to play is just let's just say $1,000.
Okay. For the room.
Yeah.
Does that include the lighting and sound?
Yeah. We'll just say $1,000.
Okay.
Make it easy.
Okay.
Catering is $100. So now you're at $3,100 for your break even. If your show even grosses $3,100, let's say your show grosses $4,000. Well, before the band makes back end, because in theory you'd think you'd make $900, right?
Right.
That's not true.
Okay.
You take $3,100. Well, you take your $4,000 minus the $3,100. Let's just get this on the calculator, because this is how it actually works.
All right.
So you have 4,000 minus 3,100. You got $900 times 0.15, $135. That is your promoter cut.
That's it.
Nope. And then you minus that out from the 900. 765. So 765 times 0.85 is 650. So what that is, it's called back end.
Okay.
And these agents, these bastards, really make it hard on you to make any money, because you map out every penny that goes into the show.
Yep.
On a spreadsheet, and if your expenses get covered, then you get your promoter cut of 15%, and everything beyond that goes into overage. It's called points.
Okay.
The show went into points. And
so if it goes over what you're, so if you sell it out, hits capacity, so you're expecting, 3/4 of the room full, and you get it sold out.
Sure.
So does that go into points? Goes into
Well, no,
overage?
it's all monetary. It's
Okay.
Every
All right.
penny's mapped out.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if how many people come and go, whatever. It's just if the money is there.
Mm-hmm.
So like my offer sheets, it's a spreadsheet. You map out every penny, and every show that I do is a guarantee plus back end, and the standard back end is 85%.
Okay.
So
That's a fuckload.
and these bastards really make it hard on you, because you're thinking, well, why don't you just lie and say the venue costs $5,000?
Right.
Well, I want to see a receipt. I want to see what the sound guy got paid. I want to see your federal ID number for your tax guy to pay the sales tax. I want to see if that's true. They want to see receipts and see you're not full of shit.
Right.
So these bastards make it tough on you.
Wow, man.
So
That's tough.
it's great getting slack from local bands,
Yeah. So, I mean,
because I spend all day getting beat up by booking agents.
right.
And I can spend all night listening to the comments on Facebook by
Right.
local bands.
Right. More stress, right? It's just more stress.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah. I can imagine not wanting to engage. You know what I mean? Like
For sure.
sitting back and hearing that. And tomorrow brings new blood.
Yeah.
A perfect example of a band that actually stuck up for you when in a Facebook pay to play thread
Sure.
that went on for 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
people saying, "Oh, fuck him," and he's making people pay to play, and other bands saying, "I wouldn't fucking do it," and Wayne being one of the guys that come in and going, "It's not a pay to play situation."
Yeah.
You're earning your way onto this shit. You're selling your tickets. If you want to prove yourself to get more shows, you have to prove yourself. You got to sell these tickets. You got to do what you have to do. It made sense to me.
Yeah.
And when I talked to other people around the scene that had worked with it, some didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Some people, I heard a lot of cons from people that really didn't work with you, but they heard,
Yeah.
or they had asked you to get onto a show and you told them something, and then, something didn't jive. So instantly they got their panties in a bunch and
Right.
ran off and, fuck that Bobby guy. He's
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm on a promoter thread on a text with 15 other promoters throughout the country.
Sure.
And which is kind of a top secret thing. No
Sure.
one, supposed to ever know
It's
about
elite.
it. Well,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
because we all talk about prices and who's selling tickets, who's not worth it.
Right.
Who's losing money. We talk about the offers we're sending today and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And I mean, I counted last year, I sent about 400 offers and only did 74 shows.
Wow.
So, but anyways, about this promoter thread, I mean, the shit that they do with their locals, I mean, I'm surprised people aren't burning down their houses
Really?
because they straight up pay to play. Just straight up. And
What cities? It's elite. He just holds up his phone.
But I mean, as far as like they think I'm nuts for paying out $2 a ticket, if they don't utterly fail. Which utterly failing to me is like if you can sell over 25, 30 tickets, I mean, let's pay out the $2. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
It's not. I'm not getting burnt by putting your band on the show.
Sure.
Too bad.
Right. Let me see here. Somebody else just sent me another thing. Let's see what this ass con says. Oh yeah, he's not even talking about that. So let's listen to some tunes, man. We'll regroup and do some more. So you got Propane coming to town, right?
Yeah.
What's the date on that show?
June 23rd.
23rd. Hex Vortices was just on here promoting the show.
That's awesome.
Excited to play.
Yeah.
All big Propane fans. I seen Propane at the Mirage back in the day.
Dude, when's the last time Propane's been to town?
I can't even remember.
I have no clue.
They're a great band, though.
Yeah.
Fucking excellent band.
They have not
Excellent
been
band.
here in forever.
Yeah. That's right, folks. You got to get some tickets, man. Get a hold of the pre-sale some way, somehow. Hex Vortices. Get a hold of Bobby. Get a hold of however you can get tickets, man. Propane, like he said, hasn't been here in a long time. You should definitely go check that
They
out.
probably won't be back.
Yeah,
'cause
right.
Who knows,
right?
man?
American Head Charge. Totally fucking awesome fest.
Great show.
Excellent. Now, folks, if you haven't had a chance to listen to this new album, I've been playing it virtually nonstop since it came out. I went and bought it on iTunes right away. Give the guys some love. I fucking love these cats. I grew up with these cats, playing in shows, playing venues, watching them get signed, go up the ladder, go down the ladder, go up the ladder, go down the ladder, release a great album, fall down, release another great album, fall down. You know what I mean? I've seen these guys come and go, and hopefully they will keep it together. And I love these guys to death, man. I love them to fucking death. And they're such a talented group of guys, man.
I'm stoked to see them at the Skyway with the new PA system.
Yeah. I'm stoked to see him because Cameron has got his shit together now.
Yeah?
From what I've heard.
That's good.
And it's great to hear because he's such a talented guy, such an awesome singer. And being a vocalist myself. And,
I did hear that they're all clean now,
Yeah.
except for Karma.
right.
Yeah.
And dude, it's just, I'm excited to see them play this new album. I got a chance to see a couple of the newer songs, like, when they were touring before. And it just, I'm excited now that I know it and everything. So totally fucking awesome fest. What is the date on that one?
June 25th.
June 25th.
Saturday.
Skyway.
No excuses.
Big shows, right?
Yeah.
A big motor grader on that one too.
Yeah, with Soil.
Right. And then we got a bunch of bands in the Studio B, right?
We've got all your favorite bands.
Awesome.
All your favorite local bands.
All of them. Every single one of them.
The radio ad last year said all the bands that mattered.
That's badass, man.
Which is not true, but whatever.
There's a lot of bands.
There's a lot of bands that matter.
That's good. And then we've got what is it? The Plot in You? Is that what it is?
That's it.
And you're bringing them to town? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Where are they going to be at?
Be at the Amsterdam, Monday, June 11.
Monday, June 11th.
July 11, my bad.
July 11th.
July 11.
Here we go. And Architects.
That is at the Caboose, Thursday, July 14th.
Nice. How about Warren G? What's up with that?
Yeah.
Old school, man. That's killer.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that dude still is. How many albums did that guy even come out with? I lost track.
Have no clue.
And isn't he like Snoop's cousin or some shit?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
Last time he was here in town was with Snoop at the Caboose.
Nice.
Yeah, this show's going to do really great. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. I'd have to go. Too bad Nate G's not with him. Or Nate. Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been pretty cool.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A.
Do their Regulate song together.
Hell yeah.
But Warren G is playing the G-Funk album in its entirety.
Awesome. That's
So,
cool, man. That's going to be good shit.
That's the best show you could possibly see Warren G on, man.
Right. Absolutely, man. Well, let's take a listen to some music, folks, and we'll be back Stick around. We got a lot more. And hey, stick around because Bobby's going to be dipping out of here real soon. So, yeah, we'll be right back. Going old school on yo ass with some Warren G up in here. You're listening to Ritual Madness Podcast, episode 131. Hanging out with Bobby from Leo Presents. Getting some good information from Bobby, picking his brain, having a good time. Bobby, you having a good time?
Yeah, it's been fun, actually.
Good, man. Good. I sense you were a little nervous at first.
Well, no one wants to come on here and get criticized.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. And that's what I said. I'm not going to have you come on and just be a dick. And, and like I said, people want to fucking bash you because they don't understand the situation and what you really have to go through. I don't think anybody really will understand what you have to go through. You have to pay for the room. You got to, like I said, you got to pay for all of this shit.
Yeah, when you said, what do you have to pay for? In my mind, just everything.
Right, exactly.
When you walk up to the caboose and you see the lights on the sign, yeah, I pay for that. When you walk inside and give your ticket to the door lady, I pay for that.
Right.
When you give, when the security guy gives you a wristband, yeah, I pay all their salaries.
Right.
It just keeps going on and on.
When the lights go flickety, you pay for that.
Yeah, I pay for killer, light tech, LD.
Yeah.
You literally pay for literally everything.
Now, what was going on with the Skyway? There were some lighting issues at the Skyway.
Some lighting issues?
Yeah, man. Because somebody was telling me that they had like an old school board, like a lighting board, old school lighting board, and it was like they didn't want to put the money into the lighting or some shit.
What show is this for?
Soulfly.
Soulfly. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it just was like minimal lights, not a whole big lighting deal.
I think I remember that. Yeah. So the lights at Skyway is kind of a mess because back then they didn't have a permanent setup for lights.
Right.
And so with lights you have to program everything.
Right.
I'm not an LD, so I don't really know much about lighting world.
Right.
But you have to program each can or LED light different. Right. It's not like a soundboard where you can just patch in your snake. It's actually you have to physically know the addresses.
Right.
For everything or something like that.
Sure.
And they didn't have a house LD at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was just kind of a cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit's fucking foreign to me, man.
Those lights have caused me a lot of stress.
Yeah, I bet. Do any of the bands freak out about it?
Oh, the Behemoth guys were very concerned.
Really?
Because I thought I had it handled because I was told it was handled.
Right.
And it was not handled.
Yeah.
And then we figured it out.
They didn't want yellow lights?
I don't know what the deal was.
Well, those guys are so evil, dude.
Yeah.
They're the evilest guys on the planet.
Yeah.
They don't want anybody to think they believe in God or anything.
That show is amazing, by the way.
They're a fucking great band, man. They're a really good band. I love that shit.
Their production is nuts.
Yeah, I you know what? I've yet to see them live.
Oh my god,
I have not seen them.
You
live.
need to do that.
They're very cool. Good band. Definitely a good band. So there were some other things that we were talking about off the air. Some things that you said to me about 2014. You haven't taken anything out of the Leo Presents. You haven't written yourself a check.
Yeah, I love it when people call me greedy. It's just like it's hilarious.
Well, you said before, some people squirrel away. You hoard it. You fucking take it.
I literally hoard it. I don't save it. I literally hoard it.
Yeah.
It doesn't move. It stays there. I own rental properties. That's how I live. I just live off the rent that comes in.
Right.
So as far as like Leo Presents goes, all the money stays in the account, and I'm trying to grow, and I'm trying to make some big moves and become a bigger deal because I'm just a little shit in this town.
Right.
I'm the biggest little shit.
Right.
Out of the little shits go.
Right.
But I want to be a big deal, and you only get there by saving money and getting capital and putting capital into bigger acts and growing in that regard.
Smart investments.
Trying. And with all the locals that want to come along for the ride, they're more than welcome.
You're
as I grow.
You're opening the ship gates to let them on board, huh?
Yeah, man.
Well, that's good, man. That's really good. And
we'll see what happens because maybe nothing will happen because the agents don't want it to happen because these agents, it's
like
their goal to bankrupt you.
It's like a pimp and hoe thing. You know what I mean? Like they want to keep you broke so they can control you.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
That makes sense. It really does make sense. You know, I mean, fucking big banks.
Yeah.
You know, they want to keep, you know, shit high and
Well, a lot of people go bankrupt here. You know, like Pavs, they're done.
yeah,
The Rock is done.
yeah.
So is The Rock, Roberts, Pavs is done. Opinion will be next.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And why do you say that?
Well, look what they're doing, man. Look what they're doing.
Explain.
All the shows that played The Rock, look what happened there.
Yeah.
And now all the shows that went to Roberts, look what happened there.
Right.
All the shows that went to Pavs, look what happened there. And now Opinion is doing all those same shows. Connect the dots, man.
Yeah. So you're saying it's a cycle that they
Well,
continue
I've told those people, just be very careful.
the people who own the bar itself.
Yeah.
So
The owner called me a year and a half ago and asked me if I wanted to do shows there. And I said, absolutely. You know, like 1 or 2 shows, you know, once a month or once every quarter, you know, something that would do very well, you know, in Newport, Minnesota, of all places.
right. Kind of the outskirts of St. Paul.
Yeah.
Really a small town that is basically driving the gauntlet when you're down there. I mean,
Right.
Cottage Grove, St. Paul Park, you go either way. Cops want to get you. You know, I mean, you want to drive out of the city. If you're coming, you know, doesn't matter how big the band is. If you're going out of the city into a suburb like that, they're gonna, you know, I mean, it was same with Pavs. I mean, I have a studio right down the street from Pavs, and people say, dude, what do you think about it closing down? It's like, I hate to see a venue go,
Right.
but when I walk outside on a Thursday night or a Friday night and there's not fucking cops going up and down I mean, granted, they still do patrol our area, but I mean, you got cars screaming up and down the street, people fighting, you know, chaos ensues down the street, and it's like they just keep coming and going. I don't even know how many times I've been harassed standing outside having a cigarette. You know what I mean?
God.
Cops going, "What are you doing here?" "Well, I got a fucking business here. I got a studio here. Why?" You know, you know, I appreciate it. You know, you checking in, but it's like, dude,
Not necessary.
yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. So you just said be careful with,
Yeah, just be careful. Nothing more to say.
and they don't really, they're not listening.
Um,
Now, what about the park? Have you ever done anything over at the Pickle Park?
I haven't.
Any ambition to? It's a good room.
I don't think I have ambition to.
No,
I don't think so.
it's a pretty beautiful room.
I kind of avoid strip mall venues.
Right.
Yeah.
Any particular reason why?
Yeah, I mean, the bands that I bring to town like to play a quote-unquote real rock club.
Yeah.
You know, someone can...
Not next to the Payless.
Exactly. I mean, you can debate that, but I think Amsterdam Bar and Hall is a great place.
Right.
I think the Triple Rock's a great place. I
Yeah.
love the Caboose. I think Skyway's great. I think the places I go into are really cool. I like the relationships I have with those places. So, I mean, it is kind of weird right now with the Skyway.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to distance themselves from me for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
To the people, you know, hating on the Summer Slaughter going to the Caboose, I mean, I asked the Skyway if they wanted the show. They didn't reply, so...
And that's just all business.
They
That's
just didn't
that's on
reply.
them, right?
Yeah, they just didn't reply. So it's at the Caboose. Nothing more to it.
right. And all you're going to do is make friends at a different venue. You're going to make a bunch of money for a different venue.
Yeah, I mean,
and they're gonna fucking have open arms for you. Come on back, dude.
I mean, I've been friends with the Caboose for a long time,
Right.
since 2011. So nothing new there either.
Right.
It's cool that they've kind of opened their arms to me, and they're stoked I'm in there, and I'm stoked I'm in there. I'm doing a lot of volume there right now.
Right. Which is good.
Yeah,
They need it.
Yeah.
They need it. I mean, really, I love seeing rock shows there. It's a great venue, man.
Yeah.
A lot of cool shit, a lot of cool people. I mean, you know, bikers on the other side, you know, rock and roll on the other side, big patio, great booze. You know, I mean,
It's a rock club.
yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough to get your name on that marquee out there,
That's pretty cool.
I've been there. It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Fucking great. I've got pictures from when I was a kid, just like, yes, I made the marquee. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So is there other things you wanted to touch on before we get to a couple more questions?
No, let's do it.
Well, now, how did you get into the whole real estate thing? I mean, did you just collecting from the shows or working the three jobs?
I had
or?
a corporate job
Okay.
when I bought my first property. I
Sure.
was a medical records auditor. Ooh.
Oh shit.
And that was a great job. I made a lot of money. being a medical records auditor, and that's how I bought my first property. And just kind of, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't go out, I don't party, I don't like to. I mean, I've been driving beaters my whole life. I've never had a nice car.
Right.
I lived at home with my mom until I was 25. So I just, hoard money, invest it, and just try to better my future.
Makes sense, man.
Yeah.
If it's working, why change the formula? You know what I'm saying? It sounds like it's working. Now you were talking about personal life being afflicted, by working so much and really putting your time into this promotion stuff, or booking and promotions and everything like that. Just I mean, that's a big thing. Being with someone for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And not having a
company that does as many shows as I do. It's very, very time consuming. A lot of those companies have at least 2 people working it. It's just me over here, right. one man army. So right. I mean, most of my days I wake up, 8, 9 o'clock on a weekday, and I'm in my office until midnight usually. Yeah, working, slaving away on it. But I got a girlfriend recently, so that's kind of been affecting things.
Nice. In a good way, right?
Yeah, it's been a
little stress
awesome.
Relief.
Oh, it's been great. It's been great.
That's good, man.
A little less productive on the work side.
Sure.
But it's been really awesome.
Yeah. And she understands, right? She understanding.
She's so smart, dude.
That's awesome.
She's so smart. She actually understands and gets it, and
those ones are hard to find.
Yeah.
That they're not fucking trying to pull you away from it all the time when
Yeah.
They enjoy the time that they get with you, you know what I mean? Instead of like trying to press it all the time.
Yep.
I've had those all the time.
Yeah, it sucks.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So kudos to her.
Yeah.
Big time, because that's cool. And when you work really hard and you're trying to accomplish something, and say years down the road you guys end up hitching together and you get married or whatever, all that hard work is going to pay off for you both. You know what I mean? And they don't see a lot of times women, and not to be generalizing and being a dick to women, but they don't see the end game. You know what I mean? They don't see that you're trying to build something bigger than just that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we can pay rent. Yeah, we paid rent. We're good. Now let's pay rent for the rest of our lives.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's put the shit together and get it going.
Right.
And when I'm at home sometimes, dude, I feel like I'm on idle. You know what I mean? My wife doesn't get it. I'm like, I could be at the shop, I could be at the studio, and what I really want to do, you know what I mean? I've just kind of been dabbling in it as far as like doing commercials and putting things together just to put on the station or to give to somebody else's station, because people are like, hey man, I'll promote your stuff, just give me a commercial. So I bought the mic, I'm ready to do it, but it's like I got to have the time to do it.
Absolutely.
All week I'm at home.
Yeah, it's kind of stressful being idle, because as a promoter, there's always something to do.
Yeah.
There's always a street corner to the poster, or there's just something you can do, and that's kind of stressful.
Yeah, for sure. So how do you not get super stressed out about all the shit that you do, dude? How do you maintain?
I don't know, just experiences. Because some of the shows that I've worked the hardest on, have been like the biggest losses. Some of the shows that I haven't given a fuck about have been like huge wins, and it's just really weird. It's strange how that happens, because in the online age that we're in, if the band is active on online, has good social presence, social media presence, the show's going to do well, and sometimes it's just not. No matter how much you flyer it.
Right. Snot.
Snot is a great example.
Perfect example.
Great example.
We talked about that.
I flyered that for 5 months straight on
radio ads.
Yeah.
And
that was nuts.
My fucking jaw dropped, man, when I was standing there. I'm just going, fucking hey, how could this?
I thought that'd be a good one.
Yeah. Musically, it was great. The show was great. The lighting, everything was good, other than them playing longer than they should have, and the lights went on, and they were pissed about it, and whatever.
Oh my god, that's back before the Amsterdam kind of had a grasp on
their shit.
What to do.
Yeah. Mellow the fuck out a little bit.
That's been changed.
Yeah, thank God, man.
Yeah.
Because that is a cool venue. It's not a bad venue.
I love the Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
The food's excellent.
Dude, the Kippenbot.
Yeah.
So good.
All right, so I got a couple more questions. So do you plan on getting into the North Star Club? Have you heard of that place over in Brooklyn Park?
Yeah, I sent David a message like March 1st trying to get a last minute show. He didn't reply.
Yeah.
So I didn't push it.
Yeah. That's too fucking bad, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, are you going to try again?
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Potentially.
It's a bit unprofessional to not get back to someone to at least say yay or nay.
It is. It is, but I'm not very judgmental.
Sure.
I mean, it just didn't work out, and yeah, that's what it is.
At what stage in a band's career should they contact you about opening for a national act?
Any. Because even if you're not ready, my model is I put you on an all-local show just to see how it goes. And my all-local shows are kind of cool because I give them 50 tickets to sell for $10 each. The first 25 goes to Greedy Leo Presents. The next 25 goes to the band. And a lot of these hungry young local bands are kind of stoked on it because they'll sell all their 50 tickets, make their 250, and they're like, "Cool, we made $250. This is like a good deal." Mm-hmm. And then you got 6 bands doing that, and it's kind of like a packed house, and it's kind of cool. I don't put those shows on my website. It's kind of like a underground kind of thing.
Sure.
And a lot of people don't know that I do that, but I do it.
Where do you usually do it? Anywhere that can have you, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of them at the Skyway Studio B.
Mm-hmm.
I did 2 of them last week at the Fallout, which is like a super DIY kind of place, like an art center.
Right.
Doesn't even have a website, but I used to go see shows there back when I was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
That place is pretty cool. Brings back like cool memories.
Sure. Where's that located at?
It's kind of in like uptown-ish.
Okay.
2600 block of Stevens Avenue South, 55408, that zip code, that part of town.
Okay.
If anyone knows that.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right. So let me see here. What should a new band who feels that they are ready to book a show with you expect?
Expect to actually get off the couch and work.
Bust your ass?
Yeah.
Prove yourself?
Yeah.
Will you require them to show proof that they can draw? Is there any money they will be required to hand over in order to play the show?
No proof and no money because I'll stick you on a local show, and that's the proof right there.
If you can fucking get it together?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, it's sometimes that's really cool. Like last week, there's this indie dance kind of band. They're kind of like Maroon 5.
Right.
And I had no idea they existed. Just a band called Skyline. They played, and I was just like kind of shocked. I was like, this band's really good. Like I wish I offered on an Eve 6 show, and Live Nation bought it, put it in Caboose, the same room I was going to do it in.
Right.
Just politics. And I wish I had the show because I'd have them open for Eve 6, and that'd be great for them.
Awesome, man.
But it's cool. I meet a lot of.
So are you going to keep that one in your pocket just in case you get something
for sure.
like that?
I definitely want to kind of like hopefully develop that band a little bit.
Awesome.
As much as I can.
Now, when you say develop, what exactly do you mean when you?
A band like Reflections, for example. I developed the hell out of that band because I put them on every big show because they were great. They were gent, but yet they shred.
Right.
And I didn't know of any other gent band that did that, so they were kind of cool, kind of special.
Sure.
And they got very popular. And I mean, they're right under After the Burial as far as how big they are here.
Nice.
So
Now, Reaping, you did quite a few shows with those cats too, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Those guys are happy as fuck. I love
Dude,
that.
they are intense.
Great
They need to
band.
chill out, man. They're too fast.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
They're amazing though. They're such good guys. Each one of them are really good guys.
I was joking around with Copy because he's doing his he's doing like a playthrough video, like halftime, teaching you how to play it. And when he played it halftime, I was like, dude, that is so heavy. Dude, play your stuff halftime. That was great.
Yeah. I'd only heard about him, like just playing wise.
Yeah.
And then my band played a show with For Blood when he was playing in For Blood. He just did a sit-in with them.
Gotcha.
And yeah, that's Dan Copy. And I'm like, who the fuck is Dan Copy? Dude, you don't know who Dan Copy is? I'm like, I have no idea who Dan Copy is. I watched this kid play, and I slid to the side of the stage and just watched his feet.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Jesus,
It's intense,
this
dude.
kid
He's
is fucking
he's
great.
nuts. Yeah.
Really, really good.
Copy's
And then I got to meet him, and he's such a stand-up,
Yeah.
solid guy, man. Such a sweetheart of a dude.
Yeah.
You know?
He's a legit friend,
Yeah.
and he's an incredible musician.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. He's definitely a stand-up cat. And let's see here, what happened? He put an ad up. They were selling their van, and American Head Charge actually needed a van to go on tour.
Okay.
And they ended up buying Dan's van from him. But I was like, hey, I know a guy. Fucking sent it over, and Dan hooked him up.
Sweet.
Gave him a great deal on it.
Nice.
I think it ended up breaking down, but
Oh, shit.
no, they were out on the road, and it would, they put thousands of miles on
sure.
the fucker already.
Probably going up a mountain.
Yeah, right. Just taking shit on them. How did you get in the position you are in, and can you make a comfortable living without a second job?
I got here from starting at the very, very bottom, the lowest part you could possibly start, which is one way to do it. You can go to college. You can pursue the corporate route, and go to college, get an internship at, Target Center, and then eventually get a corporate job with like AEG. That's a way to do it. But I did it, the DIY style of just doing my own shows, starting with the smallest of the smallest local bands in the smallest, venue, coffee shop that's not even a venue that you can start at, and just slowly kind of work your way around and hanging around, consistently hanging around. That's a big thing right there.
Yeah.
Consistency.
You know what's crazy, man, is that, James gives me a call, and, I booked my first show.
Yeah.
And within like a few weeks, I get a touring band hit me up on my Ritual Madness podcast page.
Right.
And asked me if I could get him a date. And I'm like, okay, what's the date? Send me the date. Tell me it's a 3-band package. One's from New York, one was from New Jersey, and the other one's from Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. And I looked up the bands, and they're fucking phenomenal bands,
right.
but I had never heard of them before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, these guys, these are great bands. And the package wasn't that expensive. I was like, yeah, I could probably come up with that money just out of my own pocket.
Right.
Did I want to take the chance on it?
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at the date, look at the day, you know what I mean?
See what you're competing with.
Yeah. And then it's like midweek.
Yep.
Of bands that are great, musician-wise. Musically, they were excellent bands. All 3 of them were really good bands. It was just like, nobody's ever heard of you guys.
Yeah.
Great covers. I mean, everything looked professional,
Oh, yeah.
and they were right on it right away. Every time I sent an email, they sent one back, and we're in touch. And I just was like, I just don't think I can do it, but I wanted to. And I'm like, how the hell did you get, somebody from Minneapolis told me that you were booking at this club. And I'm like, cool. If when you guys go on another run, just keep me in mind.
And magnify that times 14 years.
Yeah.
And that's what shows up in my inbox.
Man.
I mean, it's a lot of crap every day. And
That's
it's
insane.
It's a lot of shows you're losing to AEG or Live Nation.
Right.
Or a lot of shows you think you have until a Live Nation buys the entire tour. Because that's been happening more.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So not just one day, they're doing the whole fucking
they'll
thing?
buy the whole tour.
Wow.
Oh, $600,000 for the whole tour? Pfft. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's do it. Send the offer.
So they go from club to club to club and just pick up all that cash.
Well, Live Nation has an office in like every major city.
Wow.
So
crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Whatever happened to Clear Channel? Whatever happened to that?
That's
deal?
Live Nation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They just switched it up. So
It was a merger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's crazy. Because that's who Rich Best was working for back then.
Yeah.
That dude just went crazy. He made tons of cash.
That's good. Good for him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Was that a Wink?
What's that?
No. His name wasn't Wink.
No.
His nickname.
No.
Yeah, right.
No.
I was thinking of a different guy.
Josh. His name Josh?
I can't remember.
I believe so. They were buddies.
Yeah, they were buddies.
They worked together quite a bit. Yeah, bald dude, glasses.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hung out with him a couple times at the Quest. Yeah, I worked for Rich for a little while and played a bunch of shows for Rich.
Nice.
Things like that. Let me see here. What are some of the events that you have booked that have been a great success, and which ones have been a complete and utter failures?
Ooh. Cool question. The 5 Randy and Mr. Leahy shows.
All of them?
Has been the most successful thing I've done to date.
Really?
Yep. So pretty.
I really wanted to go that last one, man, but I had some shit going on.
It's funny, man. I mean, I was with him for 5 days, and I was still laughing by day 5.
Yeah. So they play the whole thing out the whole time.
It's a tiny bit different every show.
Really?
Because it's like 70-80% scripted.
Yeah.
But there's that's a big percentage that's just completely improv, like 30% or whatever.
Come on, Randers. That's fucking amazing. I love that show.
Yeah, so I bought all 5 shows as the promoter: Moorhead, Duluth, St. Cloud, Minneapolis, Rochester. and was in a minivan with him for 5 days.
Wow, how was that?
And it was fun. It was a great time. It was fun.
Now he's done some actual like play acting. He's
Oh
like
yeah,
a character actor.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like beyond just the trailer park.
Yeah,
bullshit.
beyond a drunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy, but he's kind of always in character.
Yeah.
Because he's just a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
I mean, like this, we like from Fargo to Duluth. I told the guys, I was like, "There's no major freeway, so we're gonna be doing like back roads." They're like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." And I grew up with my grandpa from like 1 year old to like 12, so I just kind of have like an inherent like respect for like elders and stuff, and like I just want to listen to them because like they're not gonna steer me wrong. And,
Sure.
And we were driving down this county road, and my GPS told me to turn on like a street, which is really weird. So I turn on this street, and he's like, "No, you're not really gonna do that, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, and then we start. And he just had this grumpy face and just kind of pissed, and we were just driving down. He's like, "Nah, dead end. Turn around. It's a dead end." It's like I wanted to turn around, but I just obviously like the GPS is gonna be correct, and then we just half a mile later we turn onto our next county road and. But I'm either driving too fast or too slow. But
he's around and went in your face, old man. Just fucking let him have it.
But I mean, they were great. I mean, I think they generally liked me, and they actually started to trust me.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
Because liking someone and trusting someone is completely different in my book.
Did they get along?
Oh yeah, they're like best friends.
Oh, right.
That like secretly hate each other.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. That secretly hate each other.
Yeah, they're great though. I can't wait. They want to do it again next year.
Awesome.
I want to do it again next year.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Any
Oh, the failures. Yeah. Yngwie Malmsteen was a big failure.
Yeah. Where'd you do that show at?
Skyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just tanker.
Yeah.
Like nobody showed or what?
Like 175.
That's it.
It was bad.
In the big room.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was bad, dude.
No shit. How much did you put into that one? I mean, as far as like promotion wise.
Not as much as I'd liked because it was. I think I had like 60 days to promote it, maybe 75 days.
But if it was at the Medina, somebody would have showed up to that shit. You know
think
what I mean?
so?
Well, I mean, that's all they do out there is that old school shit like that. You know? Which
I think that's in a little different vein, though.
Even when I saw him at the Quest, and I thought the show was going to be a lot bigger than it was. It was pretty full. It was more than 150 or whatever it was, but yeah, I thought it was going to be way bigger than that.
And the thing is, my instinct was correct on it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it in like 250 seat theater, and the agent's like, "Dude, you're insane. You're insane. Like, dude, you're an idiot. Like, I'm getting all this money here. I'm getting, this is in a 1,100 cap room here. It's in a 2,000 cap room Chicago. It's in this cap room here. Blah 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 blah.
Different markets though.
Yeah, they're all like 1,000 cap rooms everywhere in the whole tour. And this was one of the last dates to get done because he made his rounds through everyone else in Minneapolis and finally got his way to me. And it's like, well, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, I shouldn't have done that one.
Yeah. Was that just a bad pick, or did you get talked into it?
No, I mean, I got talked into the Skyway doing it there. Yeah. The big room because I wanted to do it in a small room.
Right.
Save money. But yeah, I mean, I kind of got talked into a little bit.
That's great. That's great. So, anything else? Any other ones?
I mean, there's always failures.
Yeah.
And
there's going to be, right?
There's getting less and less of them because I'm been around the block and I kind of understand like what stuff's going to do.
Sure.
And if anyone's noticed, I'm actually doing less shows because I'm just being a little bit pickier.
Mm-hmm. Now, how about the prong show? How did that one go?
The prong show was my second loss of the year, so it's kind of bummer.
Yeah,
it's kind of a bummer.
Right. Now,
but it turned out to be like a great show, though.
Right. Pretty full, right?
Yeah, it looked good.
From the pictures I saw,
the pictures look great.
Yeah.
Spreadsheets at the end were too good.
Now, was that all between what you had to pay for the package and
basically the promoter in Chicago that does all the Opinion Brewery shows, he got me to do that show, and I thought it was too much money and the wrong ticket price, and he's like, no, it's what everyone's doing. I'm like, okay. And yeah, it turned out to be just too much money and the wrong ticket price.
Sure.
So
Just not the right averages between the two.
yeah, it was just a bad deal.
Right.
All it was. A good show, bad deal.
What was the most difficult national act that you've had to work with?
Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah, I've heard he's just a total ass.
Yeah, he sucks, dude.
Really?
He sucks.
What kind of shit did you have to deal with that guy?
I didn't have to deal with too much, but the shit I did have to deal with, his hotel. If you know the Skyway, there's the alley, and then there's the Radisson just right across the street.
Yeah.
So once you walk out of the alley of Skyway, you have to walk, 50 feet across the street?
Yeah.
Well, the dude didn't want to do that, and his bus is parked maybe 100 feet from the hotel. He wanted me to drive him to the hotel. And at first I thought, I was like, oh, that's funny. I started laughing, He's like, oh, this dude's serious. Like, this is awkward now.
Yeah.
And, so
you actually started chuckling? Like,
yeah. Yeah, because, who wants you to drive someone 100 feet? That's insane. So, yeah, I drove the dude 100 feet to the hotel.
Wow.
Which was, nuts.
Should have told him, here's $5 for a cab.
Yeah. And
call an Uber, buddy.
Well, the funny story from that night is, so his guitar tech, oh my gosh, the poor guy.
Yeah.
So if anyone was at that show, they would have saw 50 cabs on stage, like 40 to 50 to 60. Who knows how many Marshall cabs are on stage?
Right. Are they all full cabs?
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
There's no dummies in there.
Dude, it was so loud.
Really?
The traveling front of house sound guy for Yngwie, I saw him take the guitars out of the mix sometimes.
Wow.
Like out of the PA, and it was just still blaring, dude, just so loud.
Yeah.
Because they're all on, all of them, and I don't know what was going on. I have no clue. But the funny story is the guitar tech. You they're in that little guitar world, kind of hidden behind the cabs and stuff, and he's got all his guitars, and he's just having a hard time back there. You're just like, what the hell's going on? And then just over everything, over all the loud noise, Yngwie just, you could see him yelling, and the guy just overall, it's like, I'm sorry, Yngwie, I'm sorry. It's like, dude, what is going on back there?
Right.
Just yeah.
I seen Danzig just lose his fucking shit at First Avenue. Just lose his shit, dude. And you could hear him over the music yelling at the at the monitor guy, fucking screaming at him.
Yeah.
Fucking, and he's really pushing his voice, he's fucking pissed,
Oh, okay.
leaning, and he can't hear himself the way he wants to hear it,
That kind of makes sense a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
But I've been on that stage, and it is fucking rock solid. You know what I mean? Even bad monitors are still fucking good monitors at the Ave.
Well, if you have a bad monitor tech, though,
yeah, true.
And they don't know how to pull the frequencies to get it to the volume where it needs to be,
right?
I completely understand.
Right. With Danzig too, you know what I mean? His shit,
Yeah.
Now is that a guy you've ever booked?
He passed.
Yeah. Just didn't want to work, or what?
It's funny you bring him up. I won't say anything.
Did you do the Caboose show that was over there?
No, I didn't do that show. That was James DeCourcy. But no, I've never worked with Danzig.
No.
As far as I know, I never will, because I think he's done. He's doing the Misfits thing, and then he's calling calling it a life.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Wow.
That's the rumor.
That's crazy. I'd love to see that Misfits shit, though. I'll tell you what. God damn, that'd be fucking way sick. Way sick.
Yeah.
So what are some of the craziest stories of just in general with touring bands? Do you have any crazy stories as far as just crazy shit going on? Wild things.
So
who are the biggest pussy hounds?
Well, a funny story or funny/crazy story is the midget hooker in downtown St. Paul that hung out at Station 4.
Yeah. Yep, the little blonde one.
You know, she's always peddling for cash.
Yeah.
I think it was Asking Alexandria.
Yeah.
But some band on that tour package was like, dude, what's going on with that chick? What is that? I'm like, oh, dude, she's a hooker.
Right.
She'll suck your dick for $15.
Right.
And
I got a buddy
he's like, no. I'm like, yeah, $15. It's a done deal. He's like, dude, I'm trying this. And dude, he went over there and he was missing for a couple minutes. I was like,
he got action.
Wow,
that's hilarious.
That's
insane. I got a buddy who got blown in the back alley.
That's where it was. That's where it was. The alley. You know Randy from Station 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I met Randy.
That's
I was loading in waters to Station in the green room and the dungeon down there.
Yeah.
And that's where the bus was always parked. So I was like loading in waters and stuff. I had no clue who Randy was.
Yeah.
And I guess I was making some noise or whatever, and then I was walking up the stairs and the bus doors open. He's like, "Hey!" It's like, "What the fuck?" And it's Randy sleeping in the bus.
That's hilarious.
You know, it's just funny, man.
That's
It's just a
crazy,
funny
man.
story.
That's crazy. Wait, anything else? What other crazy shit?
Man, I don't even know. I kind of eliminate myself from. I kind of don't talk to bands.
Yeah.
I kind of just talk to the tour manager and that kind of thing. So.
Right. It'd be chaotic. You know what I mean?
Well, I've learned early on you're just better off not talking to the artists because a lot of them just aren't good people, dude.
Yeah.
And like you catch them on a bad day, or this is wrong or that's wrong, or they want this
Cherry,
or that,
dude.
or
Buck Cherry.
Yeah.
That fucking the singer. That dude is a cocksucker. And I don't mean
I don't doubt it.
Good type of cocksucker
Yeah.
like the midget lady. I'm talking he's a fucking dink.
Yeah.
He's a total dink. What is his name? Todd something, Kyle something.
I've never dealt with the dude. And,
Dude, what a cocksucker. Another guy that I've met that I couldn't stand, David Draymond, the dude from fucking
Okay.
Disturbed.
Yeah.
That dude is a douche.
Sure.
Full on douche. I seen him, people just coming up and, all backstage from 93X. Everybody's back there and they're just, asking Corn guys, and the Corn guys are signing their thing, taking pictures, whatever. Evanescence, all taking pictures, shaking hands. I got a picture with my daughter, little girl gets a picture with Amy, and all that shit. Very cool. That dude is the biggest pile of shit that I've ever met in my life. I was just like, what the fuck? And then you see the guy, the chick texting while they're playing, and he points her out and fucking spotlights her and all that shit. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Sully Erna from Godsmack.
Okay.
Total douche.
Yeah.
This big, just a total douche. Met him at the 400 bar on their first go round on that.
Oh, wow.
Their first album.
That's really cool.
Cool as shit.
Yeah.
Cool as shit. Next time, because this was a big market for them,
Mm-hmm.
And we knew, Wendy and Neil. They were the ones for promotions over at 93X for many years, and they played, got their shit in regular rotation, and they just treated him like shit, And the next time I met him, he's just a douche. Sully Erna.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I've learned over the years in dealing with touring bands all the time is you just try not to judge anyone because,
Sure.
like, you don't really know what's going on.
Right.
It could be a really bad day for them.
Yeah, they could have the period for sure.
Well, I'm just saying, like, their driver could just suck.
Yeah.
Some of these drivers are just, they swerve and, you don't sleep for 4, 5, 12 days at a time.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you're going to be a terrible human being.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And when you're on the road, and there's just a lot of variables, and I don't judge really anyone.
Good idea to stay away from them as much as you can.
Yeah, there's just really no need unless I'm personal friends with them.
Right.
And I've known them for like 10 years ago. They've like jumped from band to band to band or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So
Any of them instances that people that you know from different bands?
that have been like just bad.
No. I mean, like as friends that you've known that have gone from different.
I don't know. I see them all the time.
Yeah.
It's hard to. I don't know. I see them all the time.
All
Even
right.
the merch guy from Prong is like, dude, I met you like years ago.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
cool.
just, everyone's working for bands, and
Sure.
if you're a crew guy or a touring guy, you just kind of jump around.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. I've seen a ton of them.
Yeah.
Now, here's a perfect question for you. When it comes to merch,
yep.
do you take a percentage of the merch?
Sometimes, yeah.
And what are the sometimes? What are the for instances if you decide to?
Some shows it's just incentive to bring in the show, like Twisted, for example. Like they're expensive to bring, and their merch is nuts, dude. They gross like
Lots.
insane money on the merch. So it's just like that right there is a huge incentive to bring them to town, like right there. Instances like that. Blackville Brides is a that's a huge incentive right there.
Right.
Just if you can break even on the show and just get the merch, you're doing just fine.
Right. Oh, that's crazy, man. I mean, I just
But
wouldn't
I
even.
take merch rates just to cover the catering.
Right.
If I can just, I try to trade as much as I can. Trade merch for or trade the merch rate for catering.
Mhm.
Because a lot of these bands, they try to gyp you on everything, the guarantee and the catering.
Right.
It's just like, dude, you don't need $350 for catering.
Right. Right.
I mean, how's $10 a member or $20 a member?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm
more than enough. I mean, I'm a big dude, and I can imagine going somewhere and buying $20 worth of food. You know what I'm saying? Just for myself, that's just fucking being a pig.
But even when you're in a bus, though, it's just like you have a fridge.
Right.
It's like you can go grocery shopping.
Right.
Like you don't need to go out to eat. I
Right.
mean, you can. So I mean, I don't know. There's excuses all over the place.
Absolutely, man. Well, we got some more music, and you're running out of time here, buddy. Right? You're going to turn into a pumpkin here.
I'm working for the union tomorrow.
Yeah?
I'm working at the Target Field from 7 a.m. to...
Doing what?
I don't know what's going on there tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
I got the call and said, yeah. So
badass.
I've been in the union since 2012, make some extra cash.
Doing what? Just...
Stagehand stuff.
Oh, really?
Yep, slugging gear.
Wow.
Being a grunt.
Wow, man. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty either, huh?
Dude, I load in. Dude, I mean, before every show, I load in the touring acts.
Oh, wow.
And I load them out every show.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You don't hear that a lot. They usually hire up, some fucking slugs on the street or whatever,
Yeah.
Like a couple friends, like, hey, dude, come down here. I'll throw you a couple
Dude,
bucks.
I'm always helping the local bands, too.
That's good. That's good, man.
Yeah.
People appreciate that shit. They know you're not above it. That's the best thing about it, man.
Well, that's the thing. We're all pieces of shit, and we're all just trying to make it.
True.
And, it's... No one's above anyone.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we've got some more music, and let me see here. Beyond Creation. What about that one?
Dude, they're a cool band.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it.
Good. Never Scare Us, or whatever that band is. Never heard of them. They're from Australia. Supposedly, they're pretty cool. Black Crown Initiate's going to be there, so you know who's going to be on the guest list.
I like that fucking shit. Who's that?
Drummer Josh.
Yeah?
He'll be on the guest list.
Awesome.
Brackon.
I love that.
He'll be there, dude.
I love that band. They're awesome. Josh is the one who actually turned me on to that shit. That drummer guy, right?
Yeah.
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 Josh is good people, man. Good kid.
That's good.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So Beyond Creation coming to town?
Yes, sir. July 20th at the Caboose.
Awesome. And this, what did you say?
I don't even know how to say it. I mean, the agent's like Naviscaris or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows, dude? But yeah, I listened to them today for the first time, and they're pretty cool.
Awesome.
I'm into it.
How about
kind of instrumental?
The Puya stuff?
Dude, I guess the dude's killing it right now.
Awesome.
He's blowing up.
Rap stuff.
Hey, Summer Slaughter. Let's talk about that.
All right.
Real quick before we go. So my ticket price was $25 for this show, and the agent gave me a call and said, "Do you realize your ticket price is the lowest on the whole tour?" I said, "Oh, I didn't know that. Like, what are the other ticket prices?" They're like, some are $35, but most are like $32, $30.
Right.
And so I was like, "Oh shoot, I guess I should bump it to $29.50." I mean, I don't know. Is that a good price for the show? What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Why not?
Is that a solid price?
Sure.
How much is too much?
For that?
Yeah. For Cannibal Corpse, Nile, After the Burial, Suffocation, Carnifex, Revocation.
40's too much.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. I would say, $25, $30 is still good.
I always get scared going over 25.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're over
Which is understandable.
If you go over 25, it's like, I mean, I think it's rare when someone buys one ticket.
Right.
I mean, I think if you're going to a show, you're typically buying two.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you and your girlfriend, right?
Right, absolutely.
You and your broke-ass buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, something's going on.
To the show. I don't have any money, man.
Because when you're over $25, it's like, man, do I want to spend $60 to go there?
Yeah.
And then plus drinks and parking and gas. It's
Right.
like, dang, it's been $100.
Right.
So
before the fucking things even got going, you're spending $100.
yeah, I mean, I just try to keep shows as cheap as I possibly can. And
That's a good show, man. That's a really good show.
well, that's a solid show, absolutely. Yeah, I'm stoked on that.
What's the date on that one?
That is Tuesday, August 2nd.
August 2nd. That's a ways out.
Yeah.
Got a lot of time for people to buy some pre-sale tickets.
Buy your tickets.
Buy your tickets. Get in there. Buy some tickets. Great package right there.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's the Cannibal Corpse deal. And Cannibal Corpse is still hitting it hard.
Yeah.
Still heavy as shit.
Yeah.
And Nile, you can't go wrong with Nile. They're really just a great band.
Egyptian metal, dude.
Yeah. From like Cleveland or something.
Yeah.
That's where they're from, aren't they? Like Cleveland or somewhere like that?
Yeah, somewhere goofy.
Yeah.
Somewhere not cool.
Yeah. Talking about ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And then After the Burial,
Yeah,
Fucking
hometown homies.
Hometown homies.
Never miss a show.
No, man. No, they're solid. And
Have you seen them?
I've seen them once, and
Okay.
I played with them once before they even got signed and
Yeah.
toured anything. Yeah, I think they were doing minimal shit. They were kids.
Yeah.
They were fucking little kids.
Yeah.
Solid, talented little kids. And I can't believe the one guitar player just completely lost
Such
it,
a
man.
bummer, dude.
Yeah.
Such a bummer.
So crazy, man. I mean, not to be insensitive or anything, but just you never know, man.
Yeah.
You just never know. Just all that time on the road or whatever, you know what I mean? Being a hardcore musician, just fucking pulls the last straw, man.
Yeah, that situation is just so sad. It's hard to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just such a bummer.
Yeah. And any time that I've ever talked to anybody who knows those guys personally, I've said nothing but good things about those guys. Being, down to earth, real cool cats, just like, solid musicians, good people. And it's really sad to hear somebody having an issue like that and not being able to get the help that they need. And then, something happens to them like that, especially, coming up from the way they did, you know what I mean? They're just put the work in, really, really hard working cats.
Yeah. It's a funny story. Working with them, I tried work at them like back in the day, like 06. Right. I was trying to get their like CD release show at the Segway Cafe of all places. Right. And, I'm like the same age as Trent.
Right.
And, Nick Wellner, the original vocalist, and Lee, they're a bit older. And so, working with a younger promoter, like a kid, is just kind of sketchy.
Right.
So, we finally started doing shows together back in like 2010.
Right.
Then I think I've done every After the Burial home show since, except for 2, the Pizza Luce Block Party, and then they went rogue and did like a caboose show on their own, which I was stoked to see didn't do very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's cool that we got.
Why were you stoked to see it?
Well, it's cool because I mean, when you do multiple sold out Station 4 shows with me, and then you go do your own show, and 214 people pay.
Right.
After doing 700 consistently, it kind of shows like, all right,
what kind of job you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the thing that boggles my mind is like the Leo machine is kind of real. Like there are people that pay attention to the website.
Sure.
Like, my analytics, over 10,000 people look at it a month.
Right.
And that's super cool.
Absolutely.
It's become this little brand
right.
on its own, and it's kind of a machine all it's on its own. So
right.
the newsletters and the website and Facebook sucks.
Right.
Gosh.
Yeah. Just so fucking ridiculous that you can't promote. You got to pay them to promote their stuff, and it's just such a shot in the dark. You know what I mean? To do that shit.
Yeah.
It's such a pain in the ass.
And bands, pro tip for Facebook: eliminate ticket. Eliminate doors. Don't say anything about tonight. Those are keywords that the Facebook algorithm just trashes your reach. So like sometimes it's better just to post a graphic.
Huh.
Because if you post something like doors at 7, stoked, whatever, you're gonna reach like 200 people.
Really?
Where if you just post the show flyer, you'll get like 2, 3, whatever your normal reach is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I did not know that.
Little pro tip: try it out. Try it out on your pages. Let me know how it goes.
I'm gonna have to do that for sure, man. For sure. Well, let's take a listen to some tunes. Is there anything else that you want to touch? I mean, you're ready to turn into a pumpkin here. I don't want to keep you much longer than I need to.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. There are some more songs, or there's some more shows, obviously, that are coming to town. The King Lil G.
Supposedly that dude. The thing that's interesting.
Yeah.
With metal versus like other genres, like rap. This King Little G guy. I mean, he's got like 11, 12, 13 videos, all over millions of views on YouTube.
Wow.
And the dude costs less than Deicide.
Wow.
Like Deicide won't even play for like that kind of money.
Wow.
So it just kind of
Glenn Benton's fucking ego, dude. That's what that is. Ridiculous.
And a lot of times though, it's not even the band. It's the agents. Like the agents have these like huge egos, and they just kind of like have this
fucking Deicide, man.
I have a joke going around with another agent. It's like there's this bigger agent we talk about. He can't even read offer forms under $10,000. Like if you send him something under $10,000, it's just like there's nothing here. It's like you just can't even read it. Doesn't say, and there's not 5 figures here. I can't even read it. So.
Right. It's all Chinese, just turns into Chinese.
Right.
How about Heffron Drive?
That's another interesting show. I mean, that's the singer of Big Time Rush.
Oh,
who
okay.
plays the Target Center and does 8,000 tickets.
Wow.
And they play for less money than Deicide would even accept for a show.
Really?
So it's just like, if and it's funny when people are like, this Bobby guy is just exploiting metal and exploiting musicians and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, I mean, if you pay attention, you'll see I actually make a lot more money doing other things. And, I like doing metal shows. It's fun, I have a passion for events. You find bands that are really cool, like Tesseract. Their Altered State record, awesome. Like it's amazing record. I would have never discovered them if I wasn't promoting metal shows.
I had never heard of that band, and then somebody heard it from you and brought it on the show and actually played it on the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
I haven't heard the new Tesseract record because I heard 2 or 3 songs and I just wasn't feeling it.
Right.
I was kind of bummed.
Yeah.
So
that always sucks too.
Yeah.
Man. How about Guitar Wolf?
I'm stoked on the show.
Yeah.
Because that's a first Ave show.
Right.
That I just popped off from him.
Nice.
Or I got from him. So.
Yeah. Just snatched it out from him or what?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Good deal. And then we've got some Dope.
Dope. That's a great tour. The Die Motherfucker tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Die Motherfucker.
They're very fucking entertaining cats.
I've never seen them.
They're very entertaining.
Cool.
Yeah, they throw down. I remember one of the first times they came around, they were throwing fucking syringe pens that had their name on it and shit.
Oh, okay.
Very cool. Just chucking them out into the
without a syringe on it.
Yeah, it's just a pen.
Oh,
it's
just a pen.
It looks like a syringe, and you just push it, and it's a pen. But it had like fucking blood in the middle of it.
Now that's a cool marketing.
Very
tactic.
cool. Dude.
Yeah,
very cool. And that was their. It was around the same time Antichrist Superstar came out. That those guys really.
I mean, dude, all the kids at school will be talking about that pen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, won't they be checking out your band?
Absolutely.
See, that's
man.
a cool thing to do.
Yeah. Dude, you see this shit right here?
Don't worry about shows. Worry about creating pens that kids will use at school.
Yep. Excuse me, sir. What are you doing with that pen? I'm doing my homework.
Exactly.
Not with a syringe pen. You're not.
Right.
Everybody wants that syringe pen after that.
Oh yeah.
Well, absolutely, man. Thank you for coming, dude. I'm gonna keep playing this stuff. I know you got to get going.
Yeah,
I appreciate you doing this, man. It was fucking excellent. I hope you shed some light on everything for everybody because again, you can't please everybody. You know that.
Right.
You don't even engage those people, and I commend you for that because it'd be so difficult for me to like fucking swallow my ego and go, listen, you fuckhead, and just engage them and. You seem like a very level-headed cat and you seem like you don't want to reach that level. You're beyond that.
Well, I've been on both sides of the fence.
Right.
So, I mean, I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Awesome, man. That's very cool. And how can people get a hold of you if they want to get in touch with you?
It's pretty easy. I've had the same phone number for 15 years.
Don't give out your phone number.
My Facebook is, there's a lot of people on there.
Right.
LeoPresents.com.
Yep.
Facebook.com/LeoPresents.
Nice.
Twitter.com/
Yeah, you get back to people real quick. I know I've reached out to you a few times and it was like
Facebook makes it harder. If you message me on Leo Presents, it's like the page messaging isn't very good.
Right.
Or at least mine isn't. I don't know. Facebook.
No, mine is the same way. Mine's the same way too.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Like sometimes I don't see messages.
Yeah. Yep.
So and then other times I'll get like sometimes I get buried, man. I mean, sometimes I get like 15 messages in a day, and it's like someone's like, "Dude, I hit you up on Facebook."
Dude, yeah.
Well, shit, I had to scroll down and down.
Yeah.
And so
I've had that happen to me on the band page, on the fucking ritual page, all that shit. I've had that happen.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, never hesitate to reach out on Facebook.
Folks, he's open to conversating with you, folks, man. A lot of people aren't going to do that, man. There's not very many promoters. Bookers out there that are going to say, hey, man, yeah, I invite you to come and engage me, talk to me, Not many people do that. That's commendable.
Yeah, no one does that. Nobody, right?
Yeah, no.
I don't know anyone.
No, absolutely not, man.
Yeah.
Well, good deal, man. Thank you again for coming. I know you're going to turn into a pumpkin. I'm going to play the rest of these tunes. I'm going to hang out.
7 a.m. comes early, my friend.
Yeah, man.
Building a stage or whatever I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again for coming, dude. I'm just keep saying it over and over and over again.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime, man. Anytime you want to come, you got shit you want to promote, make sure I get it. Send it over. Make sure I see it. Tag me in it, whatever you need to do.
Great.
I'll definitely Post it up, man.
Thanks.
I hope everybody learned something tonight, you fuckers. Hope you are paying attention. I'm going to play some more tunes. Beyond Creation coming up. I don't know how to say this one.
Never Scare Us.
There it is. Never Scare Us. There
I
it is.
think.
Some Puya and some Cannibal Corpse. And we've got about 4 or 5 more songs after that. So stick around, fuckers, and we will be back. Hey, folks, I hope you're still tuning in here. What a great interview. I hope I did you guys justice. And I just want to let you guys know that it really means a lot to me to have Bobby come on here. I know that a lot of people may have thought that I was really, I guess, I don't want to say that I was sucking up to Bobby, because I really wasn't. And I mean, people who know me know that I don't take shit, and I don't kiss anybody's ass. But in this world, you got to realize that there's such thing as friends and allies and people that you can count on to do good things. And Bobby really did seem to me like he has best interest in mind, and he's really trying to do good things. And it only sounds like it's only going to get bigger. And I hope I did a good interview for your folks. Unfortunately, he had to take off. We ran a little long. It's fucking 12:30 right now. And he only planned on staying here a couple hours, and ended up, in between one of the breaks, he said, this is going really well. And I really would like to answer some more questions. And thanks to the people who actually did send me some questions. I do appreciate it very much. And I think he did explain himself very well, and took it in stride. And I don't blame him for not engaging half of these people out here people nowadays are so entitled to everything, and think that they deserve to get so much without working for things. And unfortunately, folks, that's not how the world works. If you are an adult, if you know me, I'm an old fucker now, but back in the day when I was hustling basically for these bands and really setting up a lot of shows, a lot of us in this scene worked our asses off and flyered and went out there and busted our asses to try to get the shows that we did get, and we made peanuts, if any money at all. When you open for a national band, you're lucky to get more than $25 to $50. And being in a local band that plays its own music and not doing covers. An original band barely makes any money. A metal band barely makes any money to begin with. Okay. I honestly believe that giving somebody an incentive to bust their ass to try to better themselves, or get an opportunity to play in front of a larger crowd than they normally would, playing at like Bobby was saying, Big V's, or like I mentioned, Triple Rock, or just any, or the Terminal Bar, or any of these small clubs that a lot of bands fall into this scenario and the situation where they play a couple shows with a couple bigger bands. Say they get a chance to play with a Nuisance or a Blue Felix or a band, Gabriel and Apocalypse or an American Head Charge or anything. You have the opportunity to get on a bill like that. They think that one show is going to make them or break them. You know what I mean? And they're going to make so much money, and all these people are going to know who they are and all this other shit. And I've told people in the past about my particular situation playing in a band called Sublevel. Sublevel did very well for a little while, and we played a Battle of the Bands and won a Battle of the Bands and opened X-Fest in 2000 and 2001. 2 years that I will hold near and dear to my heart. I did a lot of great things, but those were two very, very large festivals that I was fortunate enough to have friends that were able to help me get onto those shows. Anyways, we've played in front of those large crowds, and weeks later didn't bust our ass to flyer and get people at these shows, and we played a fuckload all the time and way too much. And the first year we played X-Fest, we played in front of 10, 15,000 people, and then played Cabs in East St. Paul on Payne Avenue, I think, or Arcade, one of the two, and in front of like 75 people, 50 to 75 people, just peanuts, just a peanut gallery, barely anybody at this shit. And that goes to show you, it doesn't matter what fucking shows you play. it's all about how hard you work. And I think that that Bobby is making bands work for it. Whether they get the percentage or not, and they work hard enough to make that percentage, is up to you. Now, do I still think it's kind of a different way of looking at things? Yeah, I kind of do, but I'm old school. And again, if you're not willing to break that mold of being an old school motherfucker and look at it a different way, because things are changing, and there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we don't actually get to see, and we don't get to hear about these points and these percentages, and the agents that are selling these shows, and how much money that he actually does have to pay. He's not telling you all of that money, and I wouldn't ask him to disclose that information. But at the same time, everybody wants to shit on this guy for doing what he's doing. Now, I don't think it's too much to ask for somebody to actually prove themselves, to get out there and do some sort of promotion, or get out there and sell some tickets, or get out there and be a fucking part of something, and he said it himself, he's gonna bring the people along with him that are loyal to him, and help him along with this. And I'm gonna tell you flat out, folks, I said that I'd never pay to play, and I have paid to play in Milwaukee once before, and that was virtually the only show that I've ever paid to play. I'm not above playing a show that I have to sell tickets. I think that I could do well at it. I think that that if I had to, I would. If it was the right show, if it was the right bill for my band, I definitely would definitely consider that. I wouldn't want to be in a Studio B scenario. I would really want to go for the gusto. Maybe if that meant trying to sell 100 tickets, I guess I would give it a shot. I don't think I could sell 100 tickets, unless I was just busting my fucking ass. And I'm an old fucker. I would definitely be promoting the shit out of the show and trying to sell tickets, but I'm it's pretty difficult when you have 4 or 5 bands that usually, I'm in touch with so many people and bands, and with the whole booking thing and all that shit. At Lee's, I'm in touch with a lot of bands, and so that does shrink your ticket pool when multiple bands and your friends' bands and things like that are on that bill, which is very difficult. Now, we've had this discussion on the podcast several times with a couple different bands, talking about the 2 particular shows that Bobby said that he was bummed out. He actually felt remorse that he didn't want to do it, that the 2 shows fell too close together, and that he didn't think it was the smart business decision. I mean, this guy's saved money. He's shelled it all away. He's invested into rental properties. He's making good business decisions. Did he say that it was a bad business decision to have fucking Totally Awesome Fest 1 month, and then a couple months later, or a month later, have Ministry? Yes, he thought it was a bad idea. But at the same time, he's taking a chance, and obviously he's made money doing that. And I hope some of you people out there that are listening, or hopefully going to be listening to the replay of this podcast, are going to cut this guy a little bit of fucking slack. And I think that you really should. And I think that people around here should really cut this guy a little bit of slack. Bobby does seem like a very good guy. I had a chance to talk to him off the air, had a chance to sit and chat with him more of a personal basis. And, I don't really know Bobby all that well. I've never had much business workings with him. Would I ever? Absolutely. The guy does seem like a solid cat and a straight up cat. Would I ask a little bit? Maybe because I've been here a little bit longer, in the scene a little bit. Do I feel entitled to anything? No, not at all. Not at all. And I don't think that bands should feel that way. If you want to do something for your band, get out there and promote. Play a couple times a month here in the Twin Cities. And Bobby said before he left, telling bands, local bands and shit, the rest of the world is open. Go out there and play. Go out there and make something for yourself, because guys like Bobby ain't gonna hand it to you. And I think it takes balls to actually say that. You got to get out there, and if you want to work for it, you got to fucking work for it. You want it, you got to work for it. Look at look at these bands that are out there. The Nuisance and the Black Flood Diesels and the all the bands that are out there doing their thing. And whether Black Flood's defunct right now or whatever, it's still a band that was out there doing their thing, going out of town, getting in a van, hustling, trying to get your shit out there, sell some shirts, get on Big Cartel, get on, jump on an indie label like, Zero Budget Records or Twin Town Tyrant Records. Do something for your fucking self, damn it. Don't think that it's just going to get handed to you. I've got a few more songs that Bobby left before he took off. King Lil G. I got some Heffron Drive, some Guitar Wolf, and Dope. Do me a favor, check out his leopresents.com. Also check out Leo Presents on Facebook. Make sure a lot of the shows that he's doing, I do promote on my Facebook page. That's Chilton 666, Facebook.com/Chilton 666, CHILTON 666. That's my personal page, or Ritual Madness Podcast on Facebook, Ritual Madness MN on Twitter, Ritual Madness Podcast on Instagram. Do me a favor, check out ritualmadnesspodcast.com. On the right side, you'll be able to connect with us on a multitude of links. Click them links. Connect with us. You can listen to all the episodes in their entirety on ritualmadnesspodcast.com. Just hit that episode tab, scroll down, find one you want to listen to. They're all really good. You can see the growth of the show and how I'm trying not to mumble and be a dipshit the whole time. I hope you guys had a good time on this one. It was intense for me because I really had a lot of things and trying to battle off some of the anger that I had, because to be honest with you, it's easy to fall into that pattern with listening to everybody else and thinking that this guy's just this bad fucking dude, and then he's shitting on everybody and trying to take advantage of people, and I honestly don't see it that way. And hopefully he shed some light for some people and some of the bands out there listening. And I hope he did a good job, and I hope I did a good job. And hopefully you guys tune in again. Like I said, this is the end of episode 131. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the support through the last 3.5 years, man. I can't believe that the time has flown by so fast. Next month will be my half, 3.5. So thank you very much. Hopefully you'll tune in again. We've got a bunch of good stuff coming up here, a bunch of good guests. I'm not going to name them. You're just going to have to pay attention. So make sure that you stick around and tune in. I try to do these every Friday, if not, a couple times a month. Like I said, you can hit all the episodes on ritualmadnesspodcast.com. I'm going over, I'm beating it. I'm tired. So I'm saying the shit over and over again. Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace out.